community. A brother who claims he wants to work with me. A brother who tells people every chance he gets an opportunity that he wants to bury the hatchet with Dr. Umar Johnson. Well, he just did an hour and a half video, taking every shot he possibly could, bringing up every misstep, every mishap, and every misattribution made about me over the past year or two. As thirsty as he could possibly be, he could not wait to do a video on me. Why in the hell does a black man need to spend 90 minutes on film talking about another black man? Reminds me of another buffoon up in New York who did a 90-minute movie back in 2015 when that situation happened. But brothers and sisters, it ain't about them, it's about us. It's about our future. Let's talk about the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy. In Chicago, there's 3 schools. One of them I'm confirmed to visit on Monday. Yes, I don't celebrate Christmas, but I respect all of you who do. And I pray to Almighty God, all of you, that you are not worshiping the white Jesus on Christmas Day, but that you are worshiping the black revolutionary Messiah in Ethiopia. That is my prayer for you all. But I have no problem with your Christianity. Whether Jesus existed or not is irrelevant. The story of Jesus, the example of Jesus, an unapologetically African black man spoke truth to power. I don't have a problem with that. I simply ask that the Jesus you serve looks like you and not like your oppressor. But on Christmas Day, while you're spending time with your family as you should, I'll be visiting schools in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Before I even started the school, I would produce the results. And although I'm looking at Detroit and Atlanta very strong, if things don't check out there, there's a school in Chicago that I can afford right now. But I have to make sure everything else checks out in that school before we grab it. But it's like in Detroit, there is a school that we just found out about. It's in pretty good condition. Pretty good condition. They want a couple $100,000. We have that. I'm waiting for the realtor to get access to the keys so we can get inside and take a look at it.
See, that's why I say,
the realtor, get those keys.
I'm into this real estate.
I get to Detroit on December 31st. Get those keys so we can get inside that building on December 31st and do a walkthrough. Just like I'm going to get inside that building in Chicago Christmas Day.
I got over 700,000.
Atlanta, Georgia, we have one school identified, but it's going to take a little work to get that money. But I've sent down 2 other schools.
The way it is, if you're going down there, you're going down there and get it.
So we working. So Detroit, we working. Chicago, we working. Atlanta, we working. And if the school does not happen to be,
because you don't have a school,
in your particular city, just know that a school is coming. So I'm not interested in building one. I will go to Detroit and build one next year. Chicago, build one. Next year back home in Philly, maybe down in Phoenix, maybe over to Oakland, maybe in Little Rock, maybe in Raleigh, maybe in Baltimore, maybe in DC, maybe in Milwaukee, wherever it's necessary.
But I know as soon as, man, see, about 2 years ago, Detroit was so open, he could have got a church for 10,000. Right. With a whole building and, you know, I'm saying, exactly. Right. So you raised like 700,000.
Do you want us to show up?
Like
you want us to write letters, brothers and sisters?
You in the business world, when you talk about degrees and stuff, a lot of people think it costs a lot of money to do
show up in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania on Monday, January 8th. Did you show up in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania?
We buying
Monday, January 8th.
So we know we out here.
If your heart moves you to write a letter to the chair of the state board of psychology,
you got 700,000. You know,
if your heart moves you to write a letter to the hearing officer who will be overseeing my case at 9 o'clock on January 8th.
Real estate in Bell Harbor.
Then you write that letter.
He could have got the text center down. I'm just saying it's having nothing. You feel me? It's like this is not where I wanted to be, but this is where the land was at.
But I will not give
so I came down here to buy the land.
This is a time I need you.
Not having nothing.
I've always been there.
You know what I'm saying? And holding the money.
I've always been.
I don't know. That's a strategic.
At great cost to myself and my family. I've always been there for you guys.
I don't know. You feel me?
Okay,
you talking about separating anyway. So I'm talking about a school that's separate, but it don't matter where it's at.
Mistake my words for even suggesting.
You know what I'm saying?
That I can compare to
and you want to be economic with it. So if you plan a school somewhere, you want a place where you can actually come and take control of the economic.
You should not have to make a phone call.
A place like Bell Harbor, If he would have came to a place like Ben Harbor,
being marked for deportation back to Jamaica, he should not have to call on these people to save him.
You know what I'm saying?
These people should love him enough to save him.
Because you coming with 700.
So do whatever it is.
You could have bought the hospital. They only wanted $100,000 for that whole land.
I've saved thousands, probably tens of thousands,
but
probably hundreds of thousands.
I'm just saying it's all kinds of
psychoacademic Holocaust support.
But that's your strategy.
I have saved.
They ain't giving me the money. They gave you the money. You the leader of that strategy.
I would stop doing this work. I can no longer say like black man and black woman. So do whatever it is
that you raising these people money for.
On your heart to do, brothers and sisters. But I want you to know right now.
Talking about this, like I said, just know. So now I guess,
renewed my faith.
you know,
I have renewed my confidence in myself. I'm going forward. I can't stop. I'm too close. So many of you have told me. So many of my elders, members of my spiritual team have told me that the closer you get to the goal, the more hate you're going to get. The closer you get to the goal, the more they're going to try to shut you down. The closer you get to the goal, the more traps that will be laid out before you.
But see, that's why I say
it's a shame that my own people did this to me. There's one sister on YouTube. I'm not going to call her name because I know she's thirsty for attention. She has a whole YouTube page dedicated to teaching people how to destroy Dr. Umar Johnson. Of all these people who claim that they need to hold me accountable, they haven't held the killer of Michael Brown accountable. They haven't held the killer of Trayvon Martin accountable. They haven't held the killers of Tamir Rice or Sandra Bland accountable. They haven't held the killers of Philando Castile or Alton Sterling accountable. They haven't held any of them accountable. They haven't held the Ku Klux Klan accountable for all the black people they murdered. You haven't held the black churches accountable for all the money they stole. You haven't held national black leaders accountable for all the money they collected and never accounted for. You never held an urban league or the NAACP, and I'm not knocking any of it. But how is it you can skate around everybody else? And the only person you can hold accountable in the black community is Dr. Umar Johnson. That's hypocrisy. That is absolute hypocrisy. To spend time trying to destroy mans that don't work on your own.
Accountable.
How do you try to destroy a man?
You're
trying to build a school. If you don't like them, keep it moving. But every day I got to deal with
who you want to rob you, black man or the white man.
Every day I got to deal with lesbians and transvestites.
Black man who trying to rob
I got to deal with black men who love white women more than black women trolling my page. I got to deal with coons and crackers and all types of other types of reactionary individuals trolling my page. Do I troll your page?
You know,
I don't post comments. I've never posted a Facebook comment, hardly ever, unless it's happy birthday.
What Dr. Umar adds to the
post comments. I don't make videos
conscious conversation. You know what I'm saying? Just of everyday real
lives. 2-3 videos, and that's only because I was attacked
by those persons. I mind my everyday real life.
I have too much work to do to be worried about whatever.
So I think he's relevant on that as an entertainment factor, like our pastor and anybody else who talk. And
international movement for the
get the money, and you know what I'm saying? So I support Dr. Umar Johnson.
In the new year, we will be coming back strong.
We're talking about finance.
In the new year, I will be bringing about a rebirth of Team Pan African, and all of you who are serious about it. All of you who are serious about it.
But a lot of these brothers, like I said, you know, for this to be the internet,
you will have an opportunity to help Dr. Umar Johnson organize our people internationally.
If you got a Bentley, but you
I promise my brothers and sisters in Africa that I will do an international Pan-African Youth Conference fair. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Whether it's Ghana, whether it's Namibia, whether it's Senegal, whether it's Kenya, whether it's the Republic of South Africa, Zimbabwe, where I was just invited to speak the other day. It will happen.
For a person like me,
and I'm asking brothers and sisters from America who want to help me make this happen. My brothers and sisters in the United Kingdom, I have a lot of supporters up in the UK. I have not forgotten. Although I'm going to take a break from speaking in the new year, for my brothers and sisters in the United Kingdom, I owe you a visit. You haven't seen me in 4 years. My London family, you haven't seen me in 4 years. You will see me. I owe London that because London and the entire UK, Wolverhampton,
we can't really make the kind of moves that we're gonna make.
All of those
we don't have anybody to be accountable to
big
on our level.
Dr. Umar supporters,
you know what I'm saying?
You will see me in the new year.
Why this bitch won't hit back and see what talking about some Riverwood? I'm ready to roast her.
Now, hey, just 1 second. Look at this napkin here. You see this? This is how I've been able to sell over $120 million worth of products on the.
What you think?
About what?
Today, unity. What do we? I'm saying, how do unity play a part in us, and you create, you know, the Coach Perry and you know your social movement as far as the Real Fathers Association, you know, and commissioner and all of the things that you got, you know, playing in as a black man making a change in the community.
I'm definitely motivated by unity because I'm a unified type brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm into that. You know, I'm into what I want for myself. I want for my brother and my neighbor. If my brother and my neighbor with the program, you know what I'm saying? Today is the day that, you know, I'm 41 years old and this is my third time actually celebrating Kwanzaa, which is embarrassing. You know what I'm saying? Because if I was more into my deen and into unifying, this would be a big thing. You know what I mean? It would be annuals to it, which we're going to get started and we're going to start to do. I think that, you know, in this day and time, we definitely need unity. Without no unity, ain't no structure. We fall.
Indeed.
You see what I'm saying? So, in that manner, if we don't unify what we got going on besides a rap song or a sport conversation, if that's the only thing that unifies us, then we're going to still stay, you know, where we thought we was at, which is nowhere.
Right.
So in that manner, you know what I'm saying, like, unified is great. I like to sit around certain people and listen to them, their stories and their experiences, because experiences makes you become what you are. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, unity is something that would never go away. It's like loyalty. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Unity is one of those rare things where when you unify something, you and these people is thinking the same on the same level in different manners.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So that's the best thing about unity. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like I'm saying.
So unity is a power structure.
Yeah.
Is it easy to attain unity? I said, do you think it's easy to obtain unity?
Definitely not. Because, like, you know, in certain manners, if you can get over pre-thinking for people, then yeah, we can be unified. When me and you conversate and we talk and we come up with plans, I don't pre-think for you. Think for yourself, put it out there. If we agree upon it, bam, there you go. We got a full understanding to it, so we can unify that situation. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I'm walking away from a constructive argument or a constructive bill that me and you having, and I'm walking away feeling not satisfied, then we can't unify nothing because I'm not satisfied in what we trying to unify. Mm-hmm. If I walk away right now tonight and we was talking about chess and I didn't get the full understanding of what me and you were talking about, or I felt that you were trying to overpower me or talk to me in a way that I didn't understand it, and you didn't want me to understand it because you wanted to be overpowered than me, then no, we can't unify. And you get a lot of that, you know what I'm saying? So when you, it's like I say, it's like I wanna, it's like a master and a student. Like when Bruce Lee taught you, he wanted you to know what I know.
Yeah, right.
I want you to know what I know. All that old half-stepping shit to get me in, you kill.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So going into battle with me and my comrades, I don't want to know how to shoot 50 yards beyond my comrade. I want my comrade to shoot 50 yards with me. Because if we stuck in the field and it's just me and him, and we got a 50-yard radius, and we got 2 kills, and he can only shoot 2. You know what I'm saying? I only got 1 shot.
Right.
So I'm not, both of our life is on the line.
Right.
All because of my lack, because I didn't want to teach him something thinking that he would, you know what I'm saying?
And that's what true unity is.
Exactly.
That's to be united. Without that, there is no unity. If you don't want to see for your comrade what you want to see for yourself, or even more than what you want to see
greater
for
than
yourself.
My comrade, I can, and it's like this. No, I'm going to cut you off. in certain things, when I'm having certain conversations with guys and we talking, I was like, all right, whatever. And I can show you through my comrade. And this ain't nobody agreeing with me or none of that mess. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't demonstrate that.
Indeed.
So yeah, unity is a big plus. You know, because and then you got to make people feel comfortable.
Indeed.
Because I don't use the eyes and use or bigger. I'm bigger than this nigga. I'm slicker than that nigga. I'm fucking my hoes than him, so I'm better than him. You know, I don't. You know what I'm saying? You know, comrades get into certain guys get into the mode of if he did it more, or I guess he did it better, or however that may go. You know what I'm saying? So you want a guy to feel a certain way. See, me, like when I say like with unity with my son, I don't want my son to feel a certain way. Like I tell my son, don't lie. Do not lie to Pops. Because if I can't trust you, you came out of me. You are a reflection of me. So by you lying to me, son, and I'm putting my whole everything on it, because once you say, yeah, daddy, I didn't do it, I'm right. Now that's going to my grave. So do not put me and you in a compromising situation where I have to, now, you know, I'm like, So once my son unified the honesty that he's supposed to pertain and uphold, then he can unify and build and grow with his mans. And now begin to unify and it just, you know what I'm saying, I started chaining the command of that. You know what I mean?
I think that's where unity truly lies.
Yeah.
I don't believe in I believe, don't get it wrong, because white supremacy demonstrates a level of unity.
Yeah.
National, worldwide.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
I don't even, but it starts as a seed, and that seed of unity is the unity of self.
Yeah.
A lot of people not united in themselves. You know what I'm saying? To even come together with another person and unite. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's no problem. It's like you said, when we build, it's no issue.
No issue.
You know what I'm saying? Because you a king on your board, I'm a king on mine. At the same time, I'm willing to be a rook, pawn, bishop. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm useful. Mm-hmm. So I'm willing to be used. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So when people look at relationships, because when we talking about organizational structure, you can't do stuff by yourself. When you talking about you can do you by yourself.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So if you on YouTube talking about the revolution and you trying to get out of us, you know, the situation and be whatever you trying to be, that's not going to be, that's self-unity. And that's a level of selfishness. Now, ain't nothing wrong with that level. I'm not saying that. Okay. But to truly unite is to build on a whole nother level.
Exactly. Put that light on for me, y'all. Cut that light on for me. From this whole...
Yeah, but the light too much.
Oh, okay.
Flash. Oh.
That's strange. I like that. I like that.
But so unity on that level is important, like self-unity, being comfortable with yourself. You know, now you gotta I think unity protects people. Unity is like a compound.
Yeah, it is.
When I'm united, that means I got everything I need not to fuck with you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Not to fuck with anybody that I don't want to fuck with.
Because I'm united.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So when you compound it like that, you know, and now if you go outside that to community, if you got your own grocery stores, your own gas stations, your own schools, your own hospitals, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. When you got this, you united.
Exactly. Exactly.
You ain't gotta leave this for nobody unless you want to. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta deal with people you don't want to deal with. So that's a level of unity. You know. Now it's hard to, like I say, I don't see at this level, you know, we've been taught from a school system, a church system, a religious system, that's integrating us into white supremacy. And when I say white supremacy, I just mean the way it is.
Exactly.
Is we don't own anything. Exactly. We're the only people who can't be white. Exactly. Melanated people. So you know what I'm saying? That's a direct threat. White supremacy is a direct threat to your existence.
Exactly.
If you don't want to be an economic slave.
Exactly.
If you're cool with it. Exactly. If you're cool with the penthouse, the mansions, the Bentleys, you know what I'm saying? Consumerism, you know what I'm saying? Not having your own, going to other people for everything. Exactly. Then you good.
Exactly.
White supremacy is not even white supremacy. It's just life.
It's just life for you.
You know, and you satisfied that you're the manager of the bank, the supervisor, the factory, the owner, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Or whatever, you know. See, because even when you're talking about unity on that level, even if you have the gas station, we're talking about powernomics and T-structure, we need the land for the oil.
Exactly.
Because, you know, that's how, like, communities do. Like, say the Arabs. Not to say this what it is, I'm just using it as an example.
Right.
But you got the Arabs who own gas stations in our community, but they also got to connect in their country.
To who owns the oil.
Exactly.
His man's uncle or somebody own the oil.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Or just as a government, we give a discount to our people who go into another country
getting money.
Exactly. That's like you. If you got a son, you know what I'm saying? You gonna roll out the resources for
exactly.
So if you going to somewhere else, you ain't got to worry about it. We got the gas for you on the low. You know what I'm saying? We want all our people, no matter where they at, good. We united.
Exactly.
You know, the United States.
Exactly.
So, you know, I think another thing that stops unity in a way is the way we look at slavery. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying the word master, slave. You know what I'm saying? You know, because when you're against that, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to unite.
Maybe need to be going live.
Yeah, we is already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you know, this level master slave. Now, people don't want to be enslaved when they already been enslaved. And this what Dr. Umar was basically talking about. Self-hate. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to be enslaved to the white man. White man already robbed you. You already gave him your money, he ain't showed you nothing. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Now, me, I'm finna rob. You know, I want you.
Now, let me hit. Let's get back on that. Would you feel better? See, I try not to judge people, even if they lowest level and at my lowest level. But in a situation where you say you doing something for me and my people, that means you endangering the life. If I die of my son, his son. You endangering the life of me and my people if you doing something for me and my people. If you using me and my people, because I fund that dude some money. I send him 10, 12, 20.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So in that matter, now, it's two kind of people. Well, actually, there's three kind of people. It's the ones that know, it's the ones that don't know, and the ones that know and don't know. See what I'm saying? So me and you we played in two different lives. We played in two different movies. In a lifetime, we played that the average American don't play, get to see.
Right.
They only watch it. And you gotta remember, it was once upon a time wasn't no TV or none of this shit.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Now in that manner, do I feel comfortable with the white man robbing me? In the mind that I was in 10 years ago, yeah, I would be mad. Fuck this nigga, whoop, 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 in my mind then. Now, as of now, no. But he got to show and prove.
No question.
Because if you don't, you the worst kind of. You worse than the motherfucker who robbing me. You're worse.
I'm with you.
I'm saying not the way I rotate.
I'm with you. Now, it's like you said, it's levels, right?
Yes, definitely
levels. Now, I look at it on this level. Everything is corporate. Everything is a business.
Right.
Basically, what he's saying is that me selling you a dream. This is normal. The pastor is selling you a dream.
Yeah.
The school system is selling you a dream.
Yeah.
Your job is selling you a dream.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So all these people selling you a dream and ain't giving you shit. Now me, I'm selling you a dream. Now the dream I'm selling you, if you believe it can work for you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the information that he giving is not, you know what I'm saying, off information about special ed and
right. It's not.
And, you know what I'm saying?
And don't get it wrong, like I say. Ain't a wrongdoing in it to me.
Well, I ain't looking at like let's don't get right and wrong yet. Okay. Not yet. Let's just look at the information, right? So like I look at him like, okay, this is what he's saying. Self-hate. You know what I'm saying? Would you rather rent a house from you? See, you tripping on me when you rent a house and I'm your landlord and I'm your man or I'm your brother-in-law.
Right.
But when the white man you rent a house from, you know what I'm saying? You tiptoeing to do what the fuck this nigga tell you to do.
And you live.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Now, if it's mine, you trying to, you know what I'm saying, Mr. Bean, and you know what I'm saying? Exactly. You know, so that's self-hate. Yeah. Now, if your cousin, your brother, now he own you like the white man. You know what I'm saying? You know, you feel like, you know, he doing you wrong. If your man's do you like the landlord do. You've been that these landlords don't even fuck with you. I came and drunk a beer with you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know, it's, you know, that's he looking at that and self-hate in that manner. Okay. Now, I understand where you're coming from. At the same time, it's like you said, we out here. You know what I'm saying? I don't rotate like that. You know, you don't got to. You know, but for your education, even though you give a street level, the fact that you educated, I know you got a dysfunction as far as on what I'm on. You see what I'm saying?
You ain't showing proof.
Exactly.
That's it. That's the whole.
Exactly.
See me. I would be put the fist up for the nigga. He showed him proof, or he got to school. Whatever. I don't give a. You see now, it's like you say. You make me see. You make me think about this all the time, and that's why me and my son tonight we was talking. Let me get a part of this out. A guy bit him. He know if I find out a guy bit him, he lacking in defense. We gonna get out the head that you ain't got no business fighting in school because that's off the top. We teach that.
Yeah, if you let a person get that close.
Yeah, you doing something that you have no business doing. You showing out and you showing your skills. Somebody been watching you. Now he ready for you. See, now he ready for you. Because everything that you and daddy do, you going to show your mans. You and your mans popping off and you know you and your mans. See what I'm saying? Now you forget about dude who don't like you. You forget about the guy who called you the curly head tough guy. You forget about this, son. I'm telling my boy this. He looking at me. I'm like, yeah. So now, when y'all gonna do what y'all do, he already didn't pay out in his mind how he finna get down on you. He biting you.
Right.
If he can get to your defense and all what you've been showing off, he got you, bro. He outthinking you now.
Right.
See, now this is the part what daddy tell you, yeah, you can have all the skills in the world. Well, now can you outthink this guy? What if you can't hurt him?
Right.
What if he quicker than you? What if he got more wind than you? He right. Looking, now he puzzled. Because he looking like, damn, daddy ain't finna go off on me. You know, I said, so how did he even get close to biting you? So I know my boy. Now he finna try to lie to me because, you know, it's rules to this shit. It's rules to this.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I turned my back. Oh, okay, big man, we're gonna cut this conversation out. About 3 minutes later, he came back. Yeah, Dad, I was playing when our guards was up, and you wasn't expecting it. You thought you can beat him because you show everybody in the class that you thinking that these guys scared of you.
Right.
Nah. He beating you in chess.
They just waiting on the opportunity.
Yeah, he an opportunist.
Exactly.
See what I'm saying? And he took it.
No question. And that go to like that situation. It's the same thing.
Exactly.
So that's why I say I feel where he's coming from. He's so real with it if you listen to what he's saying.
Yeah,
I get it.
Getting it.
I get what you said at the same time. You know, but I think he going to the level it is. Like I say, he's been doing it for 3 years. He got a certain way he want to do it. You know what I'm saying?
It is bona fide brothers. Yeah, we ain't talking about chumps. Like, cause you're not a chump in the family.
Right.
We talking about guys that like, look, you got the blueprint. Yeah. Come on with it.
And that's practicing unity.
Yeah, you're not.
And that's gonna be a weakness because you don't have an organization to protect you. You don't have that.
Yeah, you get blackballed now.
Exactly.
You blackballed.
You know what I'm saying? An organization puts you in a situation where it's not you. You don't stand alone. So you can't take down what I do by taking down me.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And you want to be in a position that I'm saying this is how I look at it. When they come and get me, this is what's gonna stand. This is what I'm leaving behind. Whenever you see what I'm saying, exactly. They can come and get you now. That money don't mean nothing.
Right. That's so you meant something.
Exactly. So you
got Dr. Umar Johnson school rapping, running. You know what I'm saying?
See, we believe on a level of time is now.
Yeah.
So I ain't trying to wait no 3 years to do nothing that God told me to do right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's gonna take me once I get an idea. It's like right now, we're in the beginning of the year. In a year, I'm going to do something. I have a plan to manifest something in a year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because next year ain't even promised. You know what I'm saying? It's always about what I'm going to leave behind. And money is nothing. So that's not even what I'm on. I'm spending all money in order to accumulate the assets and resources for somebody else.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I'm writing books to leave instructions on for somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
So, on another note, like I say, when you get, I was watching the reality show. That's something I don't never do. Like Love and Hip Hop and
right.
White Housewives in New York. So I goes in the house and one of my kids' mom, she got on the TV, Little People. Little Peoples of Atlanta.
Yeah, the midgets. My grandma watched that.
The midgets. Grandma was smart lady. The midgets. Grandma was smart lady watching this. And this is why I'm saying this. Now, to be 4 foot, 3 foot 2, 4 foot, you got challenges to be this tall. You got challenges, bro.
Right.
Your whole life a fight.
Right.
Your whole life, from the time you come out crying.
Right. It's like being black.
Exactly.
I'm saying, yeah, midgets got a whole nother,
So, now, I'm totally against watching foolishness. Because I know how black people was raised. I was raised in an era where I know how black people was raised. Period. See what I'm saying? I know how to have a person can have an education and rock the system. See what I'm saying?
Right.
So I know how that goes.
Right.
So in the manner of a person just freewheeling, bro, is just way beyond of, you know what I'm saying, of the standard of things. Like, damn, they did that. They doing that. We was talking and I was like, man, me and my man, we was just talking about how we had a childhood. How I'm gonna take my son to go buy a $7 sled from Walmart and we gonna go slide down, you know what I'm saying? We had a childhood.
Right.
So the thing about it, now I want to go track with the midgets in the reality shows is when I watched it, how some of them would have the attitude, I'm not selling them for less because I'm little.
Right.
And a lot of them do.
Right.
See what I'm saying? But once you get the one who little, and when I watched it, bro, it made me say like, man, I said I'd quit. This motherfucker never quit me. This motherfucker. It made me look at life in a whole different perspective of like, God, motherfucking damn. And they are handicapped. I don't know what you say. Them little motherfuckers handicapped.
Why you say that?
Because there's certain things that they cannot really do, but they do. You see what I'm saying?
Like what?
Like they got to get special houses built.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? As far as like when they move, like when they just up and move into a house, like right now, this is a discomfort for them.
Yeah.
Everything is up high, they got to clam, and you know what I'm saying? In that matter, I'm saying as far as in that matter.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. So you got to think about the complications to that, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? When I had my surgery, bro, I was crippled, like for like what, 19 hours. It was in the right mind state. Like I was crippled and couldn't move nothing.
Right.
Like, what the fuck? If the shit go bad on me, you know what I'm saying? What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So the mind state, bro. You know what I'm saying? To deal in the world is totally against you.
But it's kind of like you say, it's like they was born like that. So they don't know nothing else.
To get to the unity, once they unify, it's
they got their own world.
Because, and that's what blacks don't gravitate to. Like we'll, you know, it's hard to be black, bro. In a manner where, you know what I'm saying, where it just can happen to you. Like I ain't gonna lie. We was at the barber shop. I'm gonna probably get off focus. I told a person up and I was like, yeah, I'm racist. And I didn't smile or nothing because he asked me. You know, the white guy asked me. I have a gang of race problems. And he was like, what do you mean? Why? I said, for one,
was he young or old?
He was kind of like my age.
Okay.
He was like a 2-3 years younger than me, but he was old enough to understand why, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't, you know what I'm saying? So, well, for one, hate has been taught so much that that's the first thing that we say. I hate this bitch. I still say it. I get mad and still say it. So once you taught me to hate my brother, you know what I'm saying? Shit, I'm saying, you superior. If you can teach me to hate him and love you,
right,
and depend on you, I'm saying.
Right.
What do you mean? Why am I racist?
That's you told him.
Yeah.
What is that?
He put his head down. Because we had a whole, they was on that and they was going too far with it, and I stopped the whole, like, you know, because it was a few white people. It was a white lady in there. Yeah. It was a white lady up in there. Her son was acting, and I was like, so as we got to talking, and my man Deshaun was like, I told y'all should have asked Logan. So I was like, it just really ain't about like how you looking at me now. Like now I see you probably finna look at me differently because of what I told you. But like I say,
I don't think really he do because he's a racist. You know what I'm saying?
So you would have been perfect for this. You would have been perfect.
Yeah, I'm saying, you know, see, conversations like that, it's like the video that they had with the white dude. Remember we was watching that? The white dude and the black dude did it, and then we.
It might shine. Get in the other part.
Exactly. So it's kind of like that. Like off the top, my perspective, all white people are racist. Yeah. They may be cool with you. There's different levels of racist. Like you said, I'm racist. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I really don't fuck a white kid.
I don't. You know if you look at it, now I'm saying if you look at it, I don't, bro.
But like you said, I have a valid historical. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because I'm conscious of that. Exactly. You know, so in general, that don't mean all people, but in general, if you plan into this system and you that color, you not melanated, you know what I'm saying? That's you know, you with them. Yeah. You can help me, and you still with them. Yeah. You now, like you got a lot of historical exactly. You started vice lords and all that kind of stuff. So that's why I say not on no ethnicity. You know, see, when you're going into ethnicity, that's something different.
Exactly.
You know, because even if I see you, it's like when you showed me that picture, it was like, man, you know, my uncle or something, you know, it ain't even look white. I'm like, no, he don't look white.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Then she showed me a sister, her auntie, you know what I'm saying? You know, like, yeah, my auntie look white. I look at her, she don't look white.
Right.
You talking about complexion. She don't look white at all. She look like a black woman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Her skin may be non-melanated.
Exactly.
You know
what
I'm saying?
Black.
Exactly. You can't pass for no color.
Exactly.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? See, when you know what that is, when you know what you're talking about when you saying white, you know what I'm saying? That's not an ethnic. So you know what I'm saying? You can be light and not be white. Right. Now, white is a level of inclusion, and we not included. Now, we are included, but you have a slave position. You're either worker, manager, you know what I'm saying, supervisor, not an owner. You are not of industrial factories, you know what I'm saying? Things that you giving people jobs, not no McDonald's. Ain't nothing wrong with it, but I'm just saying on the industrial level, right. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got the factories. You know what I'm saying? You're not manufacturing as a whole. We don't have a gross national product that we create and manufacture nowhere, right? Right. So in that manner, that's true unity economically. So exactly. we don't have that.
And that's what we need to get back, because it went from like 500 people celebrating Kwanzaa now to like a couple million. And that's still low, considering how many blacks it is. You see what I'm saying?
I think with any holiday, celebration is great. But it's like you said, if you went from 500 to 1 million of people who proclaim to celebrate, now it's kind of like what Dr. Umar's saying. Kwanzaa pimping you too. It's just, you know what I'm saying? Instead of you doing it with the white man, you doing it with exactly. But Kwanzaa ain't affecting you economically. Now, the principle in itself is a great principle. And I can teach this to them as a history to it, as a story to it, that I can teach my children and they can relate to, you know, for themselves and who they are. You know what I'm saying? I don't want them relating to Christmas. I know Santa Claus, you know what I'm saying? No Jesus' birthday, none of that. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know, they know who Jesus is. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? But all that, December 25th, you giving me gifts, I'm giving you gifts. I'm not with that. Now, as a parent, as a father, as a man, I chose Kwanzaa, the format. 7 days, we're going to be productive on principles to enhance self and my family and life. You know what I'm saying? We're going to harvest. We're going to celebrate. We're going to build on that level. Exactly. And on the last day, we're going to eat. We really fasting. Yeah. We not into that gluttony. You know what I'm saying? You just finna get a whole bunch of pork, whole bunch of slave food. That's slave food. Yeah, but I'm saying that's a slave tradition. Mm-hmm. You know, people were celebrating Christmas in slavery. Yeah. You know, they on the plantation.
Getting them wooden dials.
Exactly. The master even giving them gifts. Yeah.
Bracelets and
that's where shirts shoes and socks come from. You know how your mama gives you shirts and socks. Yeah. The slave master over here, shirts and socks for Christmas. Yeah. They had the church. Yeah. The churches on the plantation was the white man who they ministered. Yeah. It was an economic system. It was united. That's when black people was united. Yeah. After slavery came, black people created their own communities and united in that same way. White supremacy and that power system synced it and squished it forcefully. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of like, see, over here, just imagine if you got the Jews. Jews left where they was at and being tortured. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And with the Nazis. And came to America. A place where they was able to unite and build. Because when they first came over, they wasn't white people, they was Jews. So they was, you know, looked at like that. You know what I'm saying? But they came together and built on that level, you know. Came into other people. They looked at it as a strategic economic move for generations. Yeah. For black community. We're gonna have all the liquor stores and the gun store. I'm saying the Arabs doing it now. So it can be done by a group of people. You know what I'm saying? So by them doing this, and a lot of them was accountants, and you know what I'm saying? They was on every level. We gonna be on this. This is the united level that this group of people, you know, are going to be prosperous and are going to be included in the white privilege. You know what I'm saying? So it was a war, an ethnic war in America, really. So it wasn't really no white people, black people. It was an ethnic war. You had Moors over here, you know what I'm saying? Zulus. It was people who was, you know, coming over here to create, you know what I'm saying, that colony. Civilization. It was like building on that level. This was the place. Exactly. Exactly. So everybody coming to America. You know what I'm saying? Then, you know, they selling everything. The strongest survive. It's check. I'm saying, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So if I can enslave you, you know what I'm saying? If your people is uncivilized and you've been building on war, but you don't know nothing about technology. You know what I'm saying? You don't know nothing about science. You wasn't building on that. And then you wasn't attacking us when we was weak and all we had was the mind. So you let us get time to create a gun. And we're going to take this gun because we weaker than you and shoot you down. So you can have 1 million Zulu warriors. You know what I'm saying? And it only take 10,000 of us to wipe you out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So like you said, it's like the game. You know what I'm saying? You know, which is like chess. You know, so looking at it on that level, it's still that way today. You know what I'm saying? It's just everything is advanced. It's like playing Civilization. You got a scenario mode where you can start playing where everybody already got everything. And you can jump in like that. Or you can play where it starts from the beginning. You know, that way you can be exactly. Now, I like the, you know, everybody got machine guns. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? Everybody got tanks. So it ain't really no advantage. But if you play the game the regularly, it's the race to develop technologies, you know what I'm saying, that's going to allow you to conquer the world. And that don't have to be a physical thing. It could be your world. Exactly. You want to conquer your world. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, unity is important on that level, on a self level. As a man, you got to look at what you want, not just no, you know, small time stuff. Exactly. You got to look at where you come from, how you gonna teach that to your kids. See, because ain't nobody told you who you were, exactly. And they ate bits and pieces. So you had to develop that knowledge of who you are in order to tell your son who he is. Exactly. So now when he research, what you say is gonna be familiar to him. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, you know, we adopted even the mentality of the more science. Exactly. I didn't feel comfortable teaching my daughter Christianity. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? But she would know that because we believe in divinity. You know, so there's no, we don't respect other particular religion. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we can go to church or the temple or the mosque. You know what I'm saying? But we build it.
Yeah. We our structure of life is unity, and we building off the unity that we know is gonna take to survive by a righteous uphold. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like the other day, a guy he was like, man, I wish me and you was like you and Conrad, man, because you know, shit, you know. I was like, what you mean by that? I was like, what you think we like? You know what I'm saying? What you get from that? He was like, man, just the vibe, how y'all like I don't get what I he was like, I don't get out of you what you get, dog. I said basically you referring that I don't fool with you in the manner if I don't fool like how, you know what I'm saying. He was like, yeah. I was like, well, what you mean by that? He's like, yeah, because man, you would tell me like, yeah, when we talking, you would say you and him talked about it. I'm like, why you gonna talk to me about it? I was like, shit. I was like, because probably because how you be in your feelings and shit. That's a reflection of me, my man, a reflection of me. So if I can't get what I can get out of self, I can get out of him, as far as in a conversation where he'll be like, yeah, kind of what I think I would, you know what I'm saying, on that manner, you know what I mean? Right. And like, it's certain things that you say that I don't do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a few habits that my man, what I used to do, that broke me, that I kind of thought was, you know, it wasn't real, you know what I mean? Because you can fool with motherfuckers and they bad habits that just rub off on you sometimes. And in the manner of men ain't supposed to be on that. So with you, your habits don't run off on me because shit, I'm well enough of a man to, you know, you asking me these questions because you feel that you lacking in something. See, if you finna get offended, then we need to stop talking. So as we rag like, yeah, bro, you're right, bro. But see, man, man, shit, what I'm supposed to do? You don't get in no motherfucking business. You know, you want to go there now. You know what I'm saying? You know, something that I won't let you do because I want you to say it. I want you to say it around my man because my man's ain't gonna do shit to you. He just gonna tell you about how it is.
I'm over it.
Yeah, no, I'm saying in this.
You know what I'm saying? Because it is you. See, you can't be mad at people for being upset.
Exactly.
Like you said, you trying to project something on another person.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And man, that's based on how they dress and behaving. You know what I'm saying? As if that's what it is because that's what you want.
Exactly.
And when I was on that or when I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? You really can't, you know, blame a person. You know what I'm saying? For being themselves. You know, it's like with the Dr. Umar. He talking, he ain't showing you nothing. Y'all sent him all this money. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying, y'all mad at him. He's saying the same thing. You know why y'all want to bring me down? You know, white man doing you like that already. And I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? You know, yeah. See, some people just got to get the gab. That's like with women. You got some dudes, a woman to get an old income tax check over and over and over again. It's dudes who get 10, 11 different females income tax. But when you got a mug who trying to make stuff happen, I ain't never got nobody income.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So you gonna blow your shit. Riding around in a Hummer or whatever. It impresses you for you to make something happen, but you know, and you know, so it kind of go like that. You know, it's gonna be the ones who come at you at a certain way that you're gonna believe in, and it ain't real.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't be that fictitious.
But it's kind of, that's why I say witty by getting, because that's like hate. You know what I'm saying? That's what the game tell you. Because that's another man to see the brothers with the gift gab, the brothers with the females who gon', you know what I'm saying, drop that bread, and that's they game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's what they go for. If you own what we own, they not going for that. Oh, you the broke ass nigga. You know what I'm saying?
You don't get on the set either.
Point blank.
Point
blank.
$200. You ain't got to do.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta, this is the way that you do it if you gon', you know, as I say, you know, as the streets would say, if you gonna be playing these hoes, you know what I'm saying, that's how you gonna do it. Because they not messing with no brother who coming to them, you know, on a righteous level. I ain't talking about no church. I'm talking about for real. For real. I'm talking about real relationships. Yes, you know what I'm saying? That produce successful children. You know what I'm saying? And economically, we can have something to build something together. It's beyond love. It's about loyalty.
Exactly.
So, you know what I'm saying? If you got the females with the jobs and this giving these brothers these checks, like, I don't even see that as wrong. Because if you with me, I need the check. If you ain't on that, that's why I say, you know what I'm saying? You got to do me like the dope dealer. You know what I'm saying? My vision is greater than his. You know, so I can, you know, but yeah, I feel what Dr. Umar said on that level, and I say that because I wasn't able to raise $1 million. Man, so you ain't fucking with me like that, and I got the land. We doing it for real. You know what I'm saying? You know, $1 million. Let me hear what Chum cooking. He on here cooking. Okay, yeah. Now this the Dr. Boyce Watson talking about it.
Right. Big shouts out to Boyce.
Boyce Watkins, and I am your friendly neighborhood finance professor, and I'm not just a finance professor who happens to be Black. I'm a Black man who happens to be a finance professor. I hope you guys have a good day today. I know I am. I know that if you wake up and you're still breathing, then you know you're 50 steps ahead if you're a Black man. Let me just say this. Let's start here. I'm still in Guyana, as you know. I've had the distinct pleasure of being around pretty much nothing but Black people for quite a few months, and it's really nice. You ought to try it if you haven't done it yet. You should certainly visit Guyana. Number one, I'll tell you what. The students that I have seen in Guyana have been more impressive than almost any of the students I've seen in the United States. Even though they're working with, you know, a tenth of the resources, they don't have all the luxuries that we have. but they also don't have the oppression that we have. And one of the things that we still need to learn about oppression is that oppression causes you to see something that's valuable and to think that it's cheap. You know, a person who has confidence, self-belief, who sees value in themselves doesn't need, doesn't need anybody to tell them that they're worthy. They just kind of know it. You know, it reminds me of when Magic Johnson, when they kicked him off the Olympic basketball team when he first found out he had AIDS and everything, or HIV. You know, he said, I don't really need the Olympic Committee to tell me that I'm a good basketball player. He already knows that he's a good basketball player, and I agree with him on that. I thought that was a great statement, and I learned a lot from that. Now, do me a favor as we get started. Let's do a quick city shout out. You know, I like to know what city everybody's.
Oh yeah, he's gonna cook. And he ain't not no, he just stating facts. Yeah. And he showed a video. He actually putting them on his own trial. You know what I'm saying? He got his own look, basically.
Everyone.
Good afternoon, Facebook friends and YouTube subscribers. You're watching The Opinion Junkie, TOJ. I want to talk about Dr. Umar Johnson. I did a video last night detailing why he received this letter. He received a letter basically from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania to come to court and defend his credentials and basically explain the origin of the mountain of phone calls that's been coming to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, to Lehigh University, to Millersville University, and the Pennsylvania School District. The reason why the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania did this is because Dr. Umar Johnson, over the last 3 years, has become the most controversial person in the conscious community, vis-a-vis speaking against the LGBT community, white supremacy, I guess, and just basically exposing the school to prison pipeline. Now, a lot of the conscious community, the people who get paid money to do lectures, to speak in, and to give these talks or what have you, this man cut into a lot of their money. They actually ate off those books. And with Umar Johnson coming onto the scene, he kind of revitalized a lot of that, those debates. And some of those debates turned jealousy, some of those debates turned visceral, as you saw with that SETI video he did. So part of the controversy with Dr. Umar it originated with the money first, but it really exploded when Umar claimed that he was related to Frederick Douglass. Now, last night I was angry. I didn't have a script. Now I've got a script. I'm going to follow my script thanks to one of the guys made a comment and said, you go on these long tangents and you don't stick to the script. So you know who you are. Thank you for that. Because I watched my video and I had to delete it. Because I was just out of it last night. I just shaved now. I feel better. I had me some coffee. So he claimed that he was related to Dr. Frederick Douglass. And he never said that he was a descendant of Frederick Douglass. He was just related. You see, when people who speaks like Umar, or anybody who does public speaking, you have to be very careful with your words. And there are people out there who only hear what they want to hear. It's like reading comprehension. You may have heard something, but you didn't comprehend it. He said he was related to Frederick Douglass through his great times grandfather, Stephen Bailey. Stephen Bailey is Umar Johnson's great grandfather. Okay, so he is an actual blood relative of Frederick Douglass, is not a descendant of Frederick Douglass, contrary to the claims that the Frederick Douglass family estate or have you made that he was not a direct descendant of Frederick Douglass, which he went on Roland Martin's show and obliterated. The man can go down his family tree in a way that I can't even do it. And I'm only 40-something years old, and I can't. Other than my grandpa Joseph, I don't know who his daddy is. And honestly, I never really ever took the time to do it. Not that it don't matter, just that, you know, I'm not making a certain claim that my kids would have to know about. So getting back to the education, I actually have a whole script of following. So I'm actually following a real script. So here we go. It's education. Millersville University, he became a school psychologist in the year 2000. Okay, he got a doctorate in schools in Philadelphia School of Medicine in the year 2012. He has a master's in educational leadership from Lehigh University in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, 5 years of undergrad at Millersville, double major, political science and psychology. Until 2001, he was a school psychologist at the Philadelphia School District. So there you go.
That's all right.
So he actually, I watched it on Vlad TV, and he gave a whole rundown. So somebody went on YouTube and did a whole video trying to expose Dr. Umar as an identity theft participant. See, they actually stole that there is a real Umar Johnson that's Middle Eastern. Are you fucking kidding me? Dog, these hotel niggas got to go, bro. It was a girl, actually. She was like, you know, she read it, and she was like, and she actually put a picture of a young Umar Johnson when he was skinny. Like, I think he was like 19 years old in the picture, like right at, you know, like 20-something years old. So it was like a skinny version of Umar. And it was him. He was in school. Like, it was like an actual college yearbook. He was in that yearbook. So apparently he went to school at Millersville when she put the image of him on the screen.
Right.
So it's just a matter of the links that the haters are going to prove this man wrong. Now, like I said last night in the original video, my beef, not really a beef, but my claim or my issue with Umar Johnson was from his initial, his initial video was when he kept giving dates, saying, I'm going to have the school open by this date or that date. I would say the arrogance of somebody like that, it shows not so much as a lack of vision, but a lack of seriousness, because when you don't really know everything, it takes a lot. Or it just shows the measure of a man that can actually basically say, yeah, I don't really know everything, so I'll have to get a school architect. I need to get a structural engineer. If I was going to buy a school for $2 million, it would take an extra $1 million to bring that school up to code. If he would have told the donators that was the case, I think he would have had a different reception from everybody asking where the money went. Now, as far as the money is concerned, let's go into the money situation. The money is the main thing everybody is complaining about. So I'm gonna give you guys, I run a business. I'm gonna give you guys some information on money. Because most of the hotel niggas will get like $300 a speech. They don't really understand real money. And if you do, and you're still complaining about this Umar Johnson situation, either you're jealous or you just, I don't know, man, or you have a misconception of money, or a comprehension issue. Here we go. Or you don't have the mental dexterity to understand it. If Umar Johnson got $5 million, I can understand people being mad. $700,000 combined with the nickels, dimes, and pennies and donations is not even going to suffice him securing a decent lawyer, a real estate lawyer. A real estate lawyer, mind you, you're not buying a house. You're buying a physical building that's going to be utilized as a building of education, okay, a higher learning, and a private school for that matter. So you need to get insurance. It's going to be, and he wanted it to be like a group home where you can have a residency college, where you can actually send your kids to stay there. And it would cost a couple of grand, about $50,000 to get a decent firm to go through the structural engineer firm. They go through buildings, older buildings, and tell you what you need to bring the building up to code. Then you got to go to the parish, I'm in Louisiana, in New Orleans, the county. You got to go to the county, get the county engineer. The county has a structural engineer on hand. This person comes in with you and your engineer, and the both of y'all walk the building, and the engineer from the parish, I'm going to say parish a lot. That's our word for county in Louisiana. So we have like a French laws or whatever. So you get the county engineer and the county person. Basically, y'all talk together, and y'all will come together, and y'all will come up with a price, and he'll give you a punch list of everything you need to do, bring the building up to code. Umar's biggest downfall, I think personally, was not explaining this in straight detail like I'm doing. About $3 million to get the school up and running. His biggest problem was not starting small. He should have started with a tiny school.
Right.
And nobody would have had an issue with that. At least he would have had a brick and mortar location. It could have been a fucking shit, man. It could have been an apartment building.
Right.
But with him having a doctorate, and at least it gave him some, you know what I'm saying? It would have gave him some legitimacy because he has a real doctorate in educational leadership. So a school principal. And nobody's debating that. But does his documents really matter? Does his school psychology really matter? Yes, it does matter because he claimed he had it. So he's going to have to go to these people and defend it. Now, another issue is with the GoFundMe money and the PayPal money. Let me explain something to you guys. A lot of business. Let me say something. I'm friends with 2 people that do public speaking, and I know a little bit about Boyce and Tariq's price. Tariq Nasheed get about $6,000, I think, per lecture, and I think Boyce gets about $6,000 per lecture. Maybe they probably get $5,000 a piece. But when you book somebody, if you're a promoter, you have to pay their airplane fare and cover their the hotel stay. So when Umar is traveling across the world, going to Africa, going to China, doing all these speeches, people is paying his due for this. So it's not like he's actually taking GoFundMe money and spending it and tricking it off on a pussy or whatever. Now, the conscious stripper situation was kind of weird. I definitely had an issue with that not because he got some pussy. I got a problem with it is when she screenshot those text messages. And I do have an issue with that because she shouldn't expose that dude, bro. You gotta understand, we all knew that Martin Luther King apparently or allegedly. Mr. Jackson has a love child out there that when you are traveling the world, the biggest issue with the conscious community is that the conscious community, these guys got a lot of ego issues. And Umar had a big ego. I think his ego and his arrogance really got in the way of his vision because I learned when you're doing business, and when you're doing public speaking and you're doing service to the community, you have to be nice about it. Like Joe didn't lean on me. Even in Lean on Me, that was actually the plot point behind the movie was at the end of the movie, he realized there was a bunch of people who was fighting with him that wanted to work with him. But Joe Clark didn't see that. And at the end of the movie, he ended up being a nicer guy because I think his secretary lady or whatever, gave him a piece of her mind and told him that the sisters are also in this with you. And Umar has a big issue with, I guess, putting himself to a higher standard over everybody, but having 2 kids out of wedlock. Even I judge him for that. And I'm a Umar cheerleader damn near. And I even got an issue with the man having 2 kids out of wedlock. Now, I don't know his personal, intimate business. That's not my concern. My concern is if you're going to do a school for kids, you start small. And then you start showing the people who donate to you some successes. Meaning that you can show, I successfully graduated a bunch of kids, I turned them around. Now let's go to the bigger.
They stay with me.
You know what I'm saying? The the right investors.
I'm on this where I'm on.
So I'm saying I'm getting this school off the ground and getting a brick and mortar location. Or he could have even started an online university. And at least that way the people who kind of sort of ain't got the money, because you know what I'm saying, like they just donate or chip something in. But the man has not withdrawn any money, at least to my knowledge, from the GoFundMe money, because of course you have to answer for that. But getting $5,000 per her speech and you're doing, I guess, like what, 2 lectures a month or 3 lectures a month, man, getting good money. Plus, on top of that, he sells those unapologetically African shirts, the little fist on it. So he's selling a bunch of them shirts. I've seen them shirts in the French Quarter. I even seen a hat with that fist on it. So the man selling merchandise, selling his books, the academic Holocaust against black boys. He actually exposed. Now, me personally, that's why we need an Umar Johnson. Umar Johnson, his positive is that as a father of a boy that's autistic and I'm a father of a child. I got 2 boys. I think the little bitty boy, he's just out of control. Cameron's just a little badass dude. Now, my oldest son is definitely certified by clinician to be autistic. And, I had Umar tell me some stuff, that's private about my son. And when he came to the community bookstore down here in New Orleans on Bayou Road, I'm keeping it private, but, and I've never had a chance to meet one of those pro-black dudes without a bodyguard. I mean, like on his status. And we talked for like 5 minutes, and I knew there was a line behind me. But the point I'm making is, the dude may be an asshole. He may have an attitude problem. He got a big attitude problem. But the man heart is in the right place, and nothing is wrong with that. I don't really need to like you. Just do your job. And I think the people, the hotel community is just, they are with joy. I read that they're having a party this January the 9th or January the 8th somewhere. Free food, barbecue, all the libations and drums and shit. Because
another person can take what you already taught and do it better than you if you ain't going, you know what I'm saying?
The best day in life. And I'm so mad about that, bro. For you to be African American and damn about the bus and nuts, this dude can lose his license. What happened is, I think once Umar Johnson went on black and revealed the name of all the schools,
I had never heard of
they went full blown. They just kept on going, calling back to back to back. Oh, this nigga. In fact, they froze his GoFundMe page a couple of months ago, but then they unfroze it. That would mean for him to unfreeze it, he had to prove that he had a doctorate and other degrees to back up his claims. But then again, like I said, if this man is stripped of his documents and he worked hard for, fucking lead the cops community. Lead them where they at and give them the leader they deserve.
Accountability. It's a level of transparency.
These niggas are grateful,
raising money.
Really are.
You know,
at the end of the day, my only issue with Umar is him getting those dates saying that the school will be open by this date. The school will be open by that date, and not being, I guess, humble enough to say, you know what, bro, I may have to start.
It ain't nothing to do though.
You claim that you are the quote unquote prince
got the
of
money and it's gonna take $3 million. We only had
$700,000. You know, they got some, a couple of brothers out there who have your status who would break their back for you, or who would have broke their back for you, but you didn't burn the bridges for. And now you're by yourself.
Talking about other stuff. I'm only talking about this.
I'm torn. I kind of feel sorry, but I kind of don't. You know, but for those who claim that was a fraud, I don't think he's a fraud. He went on Bush Lockins, he went on Hidden Colors, he went on Flag, he went on Breakfast Club, broke down his relation to Frederick Douglass backwards on shit to a degree I couldn't do it. I couldn't go back to, like I said, to my grandpa, to my grandpa, even to my grandpa's daddy.
Right.
And that's just like, what, 2 generations back. Anyway, those are my thoughts and my opinions. I'm not going to be doing this all day. Till next time, take care of yourself. Hit like, share, and subscribe.
So, you know, I kind of agree with it.
Okay. I got like a different kind of perspective. I want to see what my man said. What's the choice? They're gonna be licensed. If he ain't taking no money out, he's straight.
I think you got to realize too, Umar the one who brought this information out. So now people responded to what he said. You know what I'm saying? That's like me saying, yeah, I'm going through this trial, they trying to take my, ain't no news people outside there, but they say, this could all be part of it, you know what I'm saying? It's a whole other topic to keep. And it's just like the media.
university.
A lot of people were questioning his degree.
The white man do it to you on TV, let them do it to you online. Boy, he's talking about it.
Here's the thing. I'll tell you the truth. If you were to say, where did Dr. Boyce Watkins go to school? I would say Ohio State University. Like, it wouldn't be a shock to my system. It wouldn't make me feel threatened. It wouldn't make me feel like you were a hater. You can go read my dissertation. It's actually available online. Some of the people in there have actually said that they read my dissertation.
Right.
You can go see the journals I published and like all of that. So I didn't know that it was a touchy issue. And so I think that that's what led him to feel like I was some sort of enemy. Now, through time, I will say that the challenge for Umar has been that, I think it's important to be emotional enough to say very bold things on behalf of the community. I really believe that deep down, Umar really loves Black people. I have always felt that way. And in fact, when I first met him, I said, I think he could be the new Malcolm X. I literally said that. You go look down my Facebook archives and find it. Because he's such a great speaker. He's one of the best orators I've ever seen in my life. And that's why everybody's excited about him. The people that love him for a good reason, because what he does.
Dr. Boyce Watson is the kind of guy like how the others.
I think that he deserves all the respect he gets from that. And I think that if I was just, if we were buddies and I was sitting there giving him advice, I would pretty much
telling you this to set up a platform
that there's something that's happening inside of you that is making you into your own worst enemy. There's something that's happening where you're shooting yourself in the foot.
Because I think it's kind of like you say, I done been around
things, and then something crazy
will happen. With this kind of people that bring most people around.
Everything else you accomplish, right? And I understand it's not because I can just observe and see it,
but I see it all the time.
Myself, there are people
that's in you. You soft ass.
What I do.
You know what I'm saying? So when you around a certain level, like
or offensive. Now, sometimes I just say, well, you know what? I'll just take the punch. I don't care. I gotta make this point, and I'm not gonna apologize. But then sometimes I'll say, "Boyce, now was that necessary? You were emotional. You were pissed off at so and so. Did you really have to go on, on YouTube and talk about it?" Right? It's my manager Michelle does that to me. My manager Michelle will say, "Boyce, you didn't need to say that stupid shit just now. Like what benefit is there for you to say that? About this person at this moment, right?" And so basically, I understand it because I've done it, right? And so, when I'm reading this email or this note he puts on the Facebook page, I think that what could be kind of critiqued a little is, this idea that, that it seems that there's like a little bit of narcissism in there. There's a little bit of Donald Trumpish, LeVar Ball sometimes has this a little bit. And these are guys that, Trump, everybody hates Trump for whatever reason. I don't like him. I don't care much about him. LeVar Ball, I like him, but I have to overlook the narcissism and what looks like arrogance. Umar was kind of the same thing. Like when he said, sometimes I ask myself, why did I start this campaign? Well, you started the campaign because you're going to love Black people, despite the fact that it's not easy to love Black people. Louis Farrakhan says all the time, he says, Black people, y'all are a hard people to love. And I'm going to tell you what, I've been royally fucked on a few different occasions in the past, recently. I'm not talking about 20 years ago. I'm talking about the past year. And in those situations where I got screwed, it was by another Black person. So there's always going to be treachery. There's always going to be distrust. There's always going to be deceit. There's always going to be, all kinds of chaos and manipulation. I lost $30,000 about a year and a half ago to a filmmaker. They told me out in California it was a Black man. And I trusted this man. It hurt my heart that this Black man would steal from me like that. But it didn't mean that I would sort of say, "Oh, you pathetic, shitty ass Black people, you're the reason why I'm gonna stop talking about financial literacy because you Black people, y'all not, y'all are bad and y'all manipulative and y'all hurt the people that are trying to help you." We know that that's what happens when you're dealing with a people, and Umar knows this better than anybody. You're dealing with a group of people who have been traumatized and re-traumatized for the last 40 years. Dr. Cleo Monago talks about it, but everybody talks about it. Talks with Paul Anderson, everybody talks about it. So it ain't about us, and I think that one of the things about sort of being an influencer in the Black community is that you have to be able to find some way to have enough self-actualization that you can realize that it's not about you. You can't take it personally. And you can't use that power as an opportunity to inflate your ego at every turn, because your ego will eventually get bruised. People will eventually try to take you down, and you won't be able to internally generate the spiritual energy to keep going when you got all these black people that are trying to fuck you sideways. You know, when I'm sitting there thinking, man, I'm out here trying to do the best I can. I got people that want to beat me up, people that want, want to kill me, people that hate my guts, and I don't even know why. I mean, there's nothing worse than to have somebody you've never met who's literally been sitting around thinking every day about how much they hate you. That is the weirdest thing in the world.
That's
what keeps me going actually is more of a spiritual thing. You know, it's like I began to see the work as almost like a vessel of a higher power, a vessel of God, if you will. And the power of God, the power of the universe is infinite. So by tapping into that power and seeing myself as merely a vessel of that power, I see myself as or I see what I'm doing as a machine that has an infinite amount of energy, an infinite amount of clean energy. The vessel of being a vessel of God means that you'll never run out of energy, because all you got to do is tap back to God and know that you're simply just a container that is carrying something that is bigger than you and greater than yourself. The other thing too that helps is when you realize that you're not doing it all by yourself. You got a whole community at your back. You got all these people that want to help. You got all these black folks that want to participate. They're not following and supporting what I do because they like me. They might like some things about me, but they're following this. And I want you to get in. If you're not in this, I want you to think about this. I need you to support this because you believe in black people. I want you to support this because you said, okay, all right, this guy has an opportunity with
the resources you provide is beneficial to me and my family. What I'm trying to do, I agree with that philosophy. It don't matter what
morning, you might find out that I was having sex with 47 midgets in the cricket, and it totally might deflate and destroy every ounce of credibility I've ever had. But that doesn't mean that everything that we talk about, everything that I teach, everything that we go through can't continue moving forward. So I think that when he starts off using the word I, or I a lot, and I see imagery. I think I saw an image where he took a picture of Superman and put
that's why I look at
hand on the area of Superman. I became kind of concerned about that because
I don't do what I do.
Because I don't really.
I'm black, so anything I do is going to be
Bill Cosby scenario, right?
When I say my people, I'm talking about really, I ain't even saying the color.
To be destroyed.
My people is black people. This is what I create. This is what I come from.
Bill Cosby was a copy motherfucker, man. That guy was such an asshole. Everybody hated him.
Anybody can use
this. It's only a matter of time before that shit gets
I can build with it.
This is not a diss on Umar. Like, don't take it as a diss. I know it doesn't matter how many times I say it. People are going to interpret it that way. But I want to make sure it's officially stated. Like, if you go back and listen to all the time that I brought his name up, half the time I was defending him. Like, when you mentioned that thing with Roland Martin, I had the whole video saying that I felt that Roland was wrong to even challenge him that way and be that petty. And, are you really related to Frederick Douglass? And how are you related? Who gives a fuck, man? Right. Seriously. Like,
just in a conversation, I wouldn't question
really matter. And I think that when you're dealing with pettiness and you're
that's like you with the Scott
questions, it's kind of like you're not doing the real work.
Oh, how is that?
Really difference to you or me if Umar is directly related to Frederick Douglass or if he's tangentially related, maybe to his cousin or whatever. Like I think he said he's a great descendant of his cousin Stephen and blah blah blah. Man, that didn't matter to me. So anyway, also the stripper scandal. That's another example. The stripper scandal, right? With Umar, right? Remember when he slept with the girl that called herself the conscious stripper, and she went on the air and kind of dogged him out, and then he, had to defend himself. First off, my first thought was, why are we policing what another man does with his penis? Like, first and foremost, I don't understand that. Like, are our penises supposed to be used at some point? And do we have a right?
But it's like you said,
he said when a person is allowed to use it. Like,
that's why, you know what I'm saying? People just
it's petty.
You know what I'm saying? But what LA told me, like he got a lot of followers. People watching this over 160 bucks. These people in the hate right now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying to have a lot of followers, to have a lot of motherfuckers hate. Only coming to see you home.
You know what I'm saying? Don't have a smiley stuff. Like, when Don Lemon's like, well, how many times, how many consensual relationships have you had?
Respond.
this with women over the years, and Tavis did exactly what anybody would say. Tavis said, "Shut it." It's not
now that's why it's good to have a team around you because, like you said, you get emotional, turn on you and start talking. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody, you know, to be like run these ideas, things by when you run this organization. You just turn on live and just start talking. You be like Dr. Umar.
So I think that this whole idea of imposing our morality on other people, it's a waste of time.
Right.
It's stupid.
Right.
It puts everybody in a position where they gotta lie.
Right.
And everybody's pretending like they don't have sex when we know everybody does.
But see,
and it just kind of looks dumb.
Like,
so,
I don't even deal with you.
It's very silly for us to
so my morality is totally different than yours. It's the value in the video. It's like a piece. I'm just, you just part of the or you a bishop, or you really. I'm trying to win. I'm trying to checkmate. You know what I'm saying?
Set yourself up to be, I wouldn't say embarrassed, but set yourself up for this. Like when I telling everybody that you are, that you were celibate.
Exactly.
Right? Like I'm never going to go and tell everyone that I'm celibate. You don't hear it because it's not true. No, I love my woman and I'm gonna have sex with her every chance I get. And
it's kind of like, and so, like, at the end of the day, it's like,
exactly. Why would I, like, no, I'm not gonna tell anybody that I'm celibate because, not only is it none of your damn business, number two, I don't know how necessary it is for a single man to have to be celibate if he doesn't want to be. Number three, you're setting yourself up because you set the bar up here, and if you come short, it's going to make people, give people will be criticized you. Like Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods made
unless I'm celibate, but I wouldn't be celibate. Why? You might as well get a wife.
And that's pretty much why
you don't want to see. That's what I'm saying.
Career kind of,
I don't know.
To the nosedive.
Like I said,
his wife.
Got a lot of
Wife to give him the golf club.
Make it easy to
because then you got to know why women have a get out of jail free card. Like no one ever punishes white women for any time, I guess. And so anyway, it's like that's why she didn't go to jail. But I was never thinking once she should go to jail. Number two, I think Tiger is really feeling the weight of the.
I think sometimes, like he be in the heat of the moment, trying to be so perfect that we everybody believe that. Right? Oh, I'm celibate. Right. I ain't even messing with a chick unless she on that level. I got the world painted, so this ain't going into nothing that ain't. You feel me? He killing it.
Alive, but it's nasty. Hell, man. Like, porn stars have sex with like hundreds of people. Like that's it. I wouldn't just want to shake your hand if you're fucking a porn star. Like seriously, I mean, let's just be real. Like that's nasty as hell. Right? So, I will say this. At the end of the day, nobody had any business to ask about Umar Johnson's sex life. I felt like the woman was wrong to go and blast him in public. I think that if you are a person who enjoys, who thinks it's okay to go kiss and tell, then no one should ever have sex with you ever because you just don't do that. Woman I have ever interacted with sexually where I somehow felt the need to go public and tell everybody about what she did privately in the bedroom. Like I would feel like such a little bitch for doing that. It would literally say more about me than it says about her, right? And so I thought that what she did was out of line. I feel like an area where Umar could have did things a little bit better was his first reaction. He called the girl a maggot. And that's not cool. You can't do that because I think that is more of a maybe you go, right? I don't think he should have. Honestly, I think he should have just been honest and said, "Yeah, I slept with her. It didn't work out for her, and she's very disappointed. But I wish her the best." You can squash it with that. But when you come back and you call her a maggot, what you're kind of forgetting is that you're the celebrity, you're the big fish, you're Goliath, and she's David. So it looks like you're bullying her when you call her a maggot and she's, doing whatever she's doing, right? So ultimately, I think that drew a lot of people, to her side because they're like, wow, like, why would you, say that about her, right? Why are you attacking this woman in public, especially given that you are a champion for single Black moms, right? So I think that was a delicate situation. And I think that the truth of the matter, like you said, he feel like about it, just you out here doing that. But you gotta admit to yourself, number one, that you're going to watch TV. You gotta admit, man is very, very smart. he's a hell of a speaker. I also will admit that
I'm the motherfucking principal. You
also going to be
know what I'm
honest.
saying?
You gotta say that sometimes
bitch, I'm from Philly, bitch.
By allowing that excessive emotionality, perhaps some sort of psychological
nasty
imbalance
maggot, bitch.
to spill out into the public.
Had my dick all
and it comes out in the form of a little bit of what could be interpreted as narcissism. It comes out as what could be interpreted as paranoia. When he collected that money, I was a little bit concerned about the lack of transparency. I think that if you're collecting money, it is like in a donational kind of capacity. Think about it, there's a reason why I don't ask for a bunch of donations, because ultimately, if you get donations from people, that's not really your money, that's their money. So they then have the right to come back and say, what are you doing with my money? And you have to show them, right? And so I kind of think that that lack of transparency when he collected the money, and the fact that he, that people would get blocked from the Facebook page because they asked about the money, I think that was a bit much. That's going to make people skeptical of it. That's going to make people more skeptical. There's no sort of concrete proof that something is being done with the money, right? So what I think, again, if I was on this board or one of the first thing I would say, okay, 6 educators who are really good at what they do, half men, half women, and let's create a board that's going to be in charge of this project. We're going to allocate the money to the board, or a certain percentage of the budget to the board. You'll be the chairman of this board, and the board will kind of display to the public as this group that is working diligently to make sure that this project comes to fruition. But we running kind of like a dictatorship where there's no transparency and nobody can ask where the money is. And you're sort of going to get a lot of problems from that.
So you got to go back into
I sat with him for a few hours. We called him
but clearly he's a street dude.
And
you know what I'm saying? He ain't coming from no perspective. He got anger problems.
And he had us we sat in for 10 hours.
He like the dudes that we don't want to join. Smart man, but they
we talked about ideas for economic expansion, opportunities.
He got that way about
everything from farming to building grocery stores to building old schools, stuff like that. And I was impressed that the minister was there the entire time. He didn't just
because I'm saying how you talk to people that words
in the room with us. It over the age of 80.
Talking to me in a certain way,
because I started getting sleepy about 2:30 in the afternoon. I need my nap. And when he literally was just Iron Man, he made it through the whole meeting. But then secondly, I remember we brought up the importance of being extremely careful when you collect other people's money. And I spoke my piece, and he patiently heard out what I had to say. But then he went back and talked about, after the Million Man March, how they got an outside accounting firm to go through and manage every money and account for every single penny, and how important that is, right? For just trust and maintaining the trust that comes with transparency. The reason that people buy into Bitcoin and the blockchain and that whole network is because it's really just a trust factory, right? People don't trust banks, they don't trust governments, they don't trust intermediaries that have no transparency, they don't trust the dictatorships because they do dirty things behind closed doors, but they trust the blockchain because the information is distributed widely, and there's sort of this triple and quadruple validation to make sure that everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. So trust is really important in that area, and I think that there was an environment created where the transparency
I'm on that too. You know what I'm saying? But like you say, when you collect people money like that, you want to sell people stuff that way. You ain't got no connection. You got what I sold you. You know what I'm saying? And I sold 700,000
on the topics that will be discussed, because she kind of did something that really kind of upset me. She went on the page and she really kind of attacked Umar over this money thing, the school thing, and I stood by her right to have a voice, but I knew that Umar was going to think that I was the person who told her to say all of this. And I think, honestly, those of us in the conscious community, and I am a part of that community, the conscious community supports me more than anybody else. When I say, let's go build a school, they're the first ones to say, let's do it. When I say, let's go start a business, they're the first ones to say, I'll do it. The bougie Negroes who got these good jobs, they're like, I would do it, but I got to go to work, or I would do it, but I spent all my money on some red bottoms, or I would do it, but I don't really think black people can do anything on their own. So I can't really motivate and mobilize the bougie Negroes as much as the conscious community, because they're ready to go. So one of the things I think the conscious community what we need to really kind of come to terms with is, we're a bunch of sexist assholes sometimes. Like, there are times where we just really show a tremendous amount of disrespect to women and their voices. I was really kind of surprised that there were people who lashed out at Maria almost as if they're like, oh, boys put you up to this. Almost like a woman can't independently generate her own thought. Like, I'm like, I didn't even know she was doing the video. Now, if you want to be critical, you can criticize me for not having a lack of oversight on what was going on with my channel. And that got changed real quick. Now I'm very cautious about it. But you can't sort of say, well, this woman only made these intelligent remarks because a man put her up to it. You got to think about that. That's really screwed up thinking. So, I did tell Maria, I was like, why are you going to go pick a fight with Umar? You know the dude don't even like me. And but at the same time, that video had a lot of elements of truth to it. And again, another strategic error I think Umar made was, you keep poking at me, eventually I'm going to respond, right? So it's necessary, it's appropriate. I've even changed since then. So even now, I probably wouldn't respond as readily as I would. But at that time, you kind of kept poking and saying these disrespectful things about me. And I'm kind of like, man, I didn't say anything about you. But why are you doing this? And then I came back and I spoke my piece. And my emotions came out. So again, remember, I critique Umar for letting his emotions spill out on video. I'm really critiquing myself because I made a video and I was a little mad when I made it. And you really you shouldn't speak publicly when you're that fired up. Like, you gotta make sure your energy is always in a positive direction. My manager now, Michelle, probably wouldn't have let me make this video, but it's out there, I did it, whatever. So the video is 300,000 or 400,000 views. And what happens then is that other people start questioning. They start challenging Umar. They start writing articles and saying, well, where did Umar really get his PhD? And what is Umar really doing with the money? And the thing is, it creates this like snowballing effect, right? Where everybody's starting to ask hard questions. Now, again, if everything's good and everything's straight up, then the questions shouldn't bother you. You should gladly answer them to clear up any sorts of doubts or uncertainty. But when you start behaving like you're a hater because you asked me a question, well, then that makes people say, well, let me ask that shit again. Shit, what other questions do I need to ask right now? Because apparently you got something to hide. So like again, if a wife asks her husband, like, so what time did you come home last night? And he's like, why are you always up in my business? Why are you messing with me? I can come home and I feel like if he behaves that way, and she literally wanted to know, like, what time you come home? Because I need to kind of know so that I can know if I need to put the kids to bed or not. Like, then she's gonna be like, well, why are you acting like that? Like, what's making you so paranoid right now? Like, so I think that, even in that particular situation, I'm just being like transparent in terms of my thoughts right now. I don't even care. I'm not even thinking about like the fallout or if people are gonna get mad because somebody's always gonna get mad. There's always somebody, every city I go to, there's always somebody who's decided they hate me because they think I'm hating on Umar Johnson. And I just don't give a fuck. I can't massage your fragile emotions. But at the end of the day, if you want to know if I hate him or not, I do not hate him. I think he's brilliant. I think that he's a great speaker. I think that the positive outweighs the negative. I think that he's good at what he does, and I respect that. But anyway, so in that situation, that's yet to me another example of a strategic error. When I see, like, if you see a beef between, like, say, I would use Farrakhan as an example because to me he's kind of the ultimate man in the black community. He's one of the most legitimate leaders that we have. We don't really have any strong leaders. A lot of these Negroes on TV, they're really owned by white people. So if you see Farrakhan has a beef with somebody, the way they handle it is a lot more strategic and more careful. They don't, make nasty, silly memes about each other on Instagram. Maybe they'll get on a phone call, or maybe they'll discuss it diplomatically. Like I saw Farrakhan really, rail into TD Jakes in a speech, but he spoke in a way that was balanced, in a way that where you could almost fact check what he was saying, where there was some measure in what he was saying. It wasn't like he was just going off on somebody, right? And so ultimately, I think we can learn from that. Like I think all of us, men and women that are trying to do something in the community, we can learn from the OGs and the intelligence and the discipline that they show when it comes to how they resolve their disputes. So I feel that in that situation with Maria, I did not like the fact that Maria made that video. And I told her that, but I also respected her right to speak. And the other thing is, I felt like she asked questions that were legitimate enough questions that
and see,
that they need to be
like I
answered.
said, when you talk
And
like that,
the problem though is that if you respond in the wrong way, then what
go down, they got stuff happening.
It's like
doing that thing. Church, 3, 4, 5 of them bitches on TV. Big houses.
Watching it early, you create a firestorm. And I really think that all could have been avoided. I really, I just, even Mark on my hill called me. Mark and I don't even talk that much. I don't know if we're friends or not, but I think Mark is a smart dude. Mark called me and wanted to bring me and Umar together right in the middle of that. And I said, sure, I'll talk to him, get him on the phone. And he said, well, he won't talk to you. I said, well, how do you want to talk to me? Then how can he fix? There's nothing that can be done if he refuses to talk. So that's, if y'all want to know kind of what the deal is, that's the deal, right? So let's read more of what Umar wrote. By the way, if you haven't done so yet, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, the share button, the like button to let people know about the podcast. If you want to subscribe via text, you get text alerts when I go live and stuff like that. You can actually text the word voice to 31996. Just text the word voice to 31996, and I'll let you know about what's going on. Also, if you want to get started on the wealth-building journey with the Black Business School, we have some of the best faculty imaginable. Feel free to come to us. We teach you how to start a business. We teach you how to get your credit.
Your mom was texting like
how to invest in the stock market, crypto, everything else. Teach you how to buy trade, all that. So you want to get started for free, go to
this is you gonna get your ass whooped in the morning about this. You're going back in this at night. Right.
Let me share with you this on this page. And I'll show you the letter. He actually showed a screenshot of the letter he got from state.
You peeled the cross on. I ate the cross on the last one.
Okay, so he said, sometimes I ask myself, why did I start this campaign? I'm ready to return all the donations and move to Africa. In an effort to give our boys the school they deserve, the account was cool. Consistently around white people in the power structure until they decided to strip me of my credentials, arrest my fund, and audit me. Okay, so let's analyze that first sentence right there. Okay, so again, sometimes I ask myself, why did I start this campaign? Well, you started it because you wanted to help black people. Right? Nat Turner should have asked himself, like, why did I try to revolt when black people tried me in? And when I ended up getting killed. Nat Turner starting that revolt made a difference because it's not so much the revolt itself. The fact that you plant the seed in the next person who's going to do a bigger revolt. Like Tupac said, remember when Pac was saying, I don't know how to change the world, but I believe that I can plant the seed in the person who will eventually change the world. So you got to think in terms of planting seeds, not in terms of getting personal victories. He said, I'm ready to return all the donations and move to Africa. I think a lot of us should try to do that.
I'm not even going to eat
I think that the strength of our people is actually when we're around other black people. Just being in Guyana, which is a black country that's in South America, those part of the Caribbean more so than Africa. It's been really empowering to be around black people who just who are running the government. Also black people who are empowered when it comes to education. I have 15-year-olds who tell me that they're studying 8 hours a day even during Christmas break because they want the knowledge that bad. And it's sad to me when I'm seeing 15-year-olds show more ambition than most of the college students are willing to think that it's torture to study 2 hours every couple of days. And it's sad to me because you got so many young people, young men and women, that can't even read, can't write, can't put together a sentence, can't do math, can't do nothing. And I'm like, what the fuck were you doing with all your time? Like, you got 24 hours in a day like everybody else. What are you doing with your time? Your time is an investment. That is an asset. You don't waste your assets. If you waste your time, then you are wasting your life. And not only are you wasting your life, but you are making yourself easier to victimize. You're making yourself easier to oppress. You're putting yourself in this dungeon and putting the handcuffs on your own hands and on your own feet.
Good for my soul.
I'm reading, you're learning, you're spending all your time watching Love and Hip Hop on TV. You're asking to be unemployed. You're asking to be broke. You're asking to be struggling. You're asking to be lost because a large percentage of your liberation is somewhere inside a book. So why in the fuck is it so hard to get a black kid to open a goddamn book? Seriously, what is wrong with us? It's insanity. It's crazy. So anyway, let me keep going. He says, I'm ready to return all donations and move to Africa. Okay, I already read that part. He said, in an effort to give our boys the school they deserve, I had countless coons. And just so you know, using the word coon on Facebook can get you a page banned. So you should probably, I would suggest don't use the word coon because they got little bots that look for racially sensitive words. If they find that word, they'll ban you. In fact, YouTube does not. They demonetize all videos with like the word black in it, the word racism in it, all of that shit. Right? So be very, very careful about what you put on social media. Consistently harass white people in the power structure until they decided to strip me of my credentials, arrest my fund, and audit me. So it almost like he's speaking of it in a way where he's almost saying, it almost sounds like he believes that they've made the decision already. They're bringing him before the board as a mere formality before they do what they're inevitably going to do, which is, according to him, strip me of my credentials, arrest my fund, and audit me. Okay, hundreds of phone calls to my degree-granting institutions, harassing them about my credentials. The same questions over and over again on every radio show, countless social network jokes and campaigns to diminish the credibility of the one man. Okay, so let's back up on that. Okay, so he says hundreds of phone calls to my degree-granting institutions, harassing them about my credentials. I did not make any of those phone calls. I did not encourage anybody to make those phone calls. And let me tell you why.
He must have been talking about him. Remember when he saw me, like, who he was talking about?
Do I believe that that Umar Johnson has a straight up legit PhD? I wouldn't end up betting my money on it. Not because I don't believe it, but because I haven't really. If you look at it, if you sort of profile his character, his personality type, you know, he's not lacking self-confidence in terms of, some would even say he's a little on the cocky side. I'll just be real with you. You know, if you put your face on Superman's body, right? Or you brag about being the self-proclaimed prince of Pan-Africanism, I am the most sought-after black scholar in the world, you can have that title. I don't know where I lie in that spectrum. Maybe I'm top 10 or top 20. I don't care. But if you see that, then to me, the first thing a person of that, you know, character would do if you question their degree is they would be like, damn, bitches. They would literally pull up a picture of themselves walking across the stage. They would have their degree. They would take pictures of themselves in front of their degree. They would, put a copy of their dissertation online to show how smart they are. They would do things they kind of show you, like, you know, okay, we're going to shut this debate down now so we can get back to this. Like, I'm not going to spend time talking to you about it and answering a million and one questions about it. And then if you have a question and you email me,
he addressed that. Why he don't? You know what I'm saying?
Questions about where I see my credentials, please go to www.my
Israel. But outside that, I agree with as far as, like you said, because it's going on.
Everything that I said.
He said that.
Didn't do that.
See, when you get a degree,
going on, you represent most likely now. Here's where I get all the bus though.
So he's saying he
just
don't.
Because he got my gut instincts tell him to do a great something going on.
It's kind of like espionage.
I don't know a lot of people which is what really stupid. You know, I know a lot of people
I don't believe in
I know people who have master's degrees who are horribly miseducated. I know doctors and lawyers,
but like he said, it don't matter if you can't.
So at the end of the day, I didn't really evaluate whether or not I thought Umar Johnson had
you mad if you got a degree or not.
Because really, the definition of legit is really up to interpretation.
If he had a school,
my concern was: is he smart? Does he know what he's talking about? I listened to him. I'm like, yeah, he knows what he's talking about. He's a smart dude. You know, maybe he didn't get a certain degree. Maybe he got into a fight with his dissertation advisor or something like that, and didn't finish. That's easy to happen. That almost happened to me. I got into a big ass fight with the faculty at Ohio State because they were a bunch of racists.
And I
almost tried to graduate. That's what they do. It's very political. If you career too much, especially if you're black, they will kick you out of the program and take your degree. And not give it to you. So I know those things happen. Sometimes they happen to the smartest people in the program.
He kind of doing, he put
himself in the lane of a doctor. I think
he did it better
conversation
than Dr. Umar by actually doing things.
I don't know, man. That's what I was saying. So really, I'm kind of thinking like, okay, let's talk about something that actually matters, right? So if you ask about things that concern me about him, whether his degree is legit or not hasn't really been high on my radar. So anyway,
he has an interest.
So he says, hundreds of phone calls to my degree training institutions harassing them about my credentials. The same questions over and over again on every radio show, countless social media jokes and campaigns to diminish the credibility. See, that again, though, you can't say that he didn't bring some of that on himself. You know, when you kind of behave in certain ways, like that video, you guys saw the video, the Sarah Sunseti video, where he goes off on this guy that nobody, I didn't even know who the dude was. I Googled him because Umar was going off and I'm like, who is this person that has drawn such fury out of Umar Johnson, right? Like it was crazy. You know, that was the craziest video ever. Like if people are gonna meme something, they're gonna meme that video. Let me see. I got it clear. Let's just watch some of this. Y'all just tell me what y'all see and make any damn sense. Give me a second. Hold on. Here we go.
Peace and love, Black families. The Prince of Pan-Africanism, Dr. Umar Johnson. We live and direct from Jacksonville, Florida. Live and direct, Black Florida, Jacksonville. Looking forward to tomorrow. Regency Square Mall Event Planning Center. This will be my first time speaking in the good city of Jacksonville since 2012. It's been 5 long years since Dr. Umar Johnson has spoken here in Jacksonville, Florida. So brothers and sisters, I want to see y'all tomorrow. Doors open up at 4. Program will be from 6 until 9. And then we will sign books until we get up out of there, Black family. So today what I want to do is I want to talk a little bit about the upcoming National Independent Black Parent Association Training Conference. The National Independent Black Parent Association Training Conference. This is very, very important. This is very, very important because we as a people have grown extremely lazy when it comes to agitation and organization. One of our greatest weaknesses in the post-Dr. King era, one of our greatest weaknesses since Dr. King was taken from us, murdered, assassinated on April the 4th, 1968, is that we have not had a serious, sustained, protracted, comprehensive movement for Black elevation. I repeat, since Dr. King's assassination, which will be 50 years in 2 years, almost 50 years, and Black leadership has not given us a sustained, protracted, comprehensive, mass-directed program for Black political, economic empowerment and self-determination. The reason you look like a fucking cracker. This ain't Sinetta talking, this me, nigga. I stands my own ground. I ride alone, nigga. I don't need nobody backing me. Fuck you calling niggas on the phone for? You got something to say to me? Why you calling men up on the phone for? Speak your speech, nigga. Speak your speech, nigga. Speak your speech. You built like that? I got some shit for you. Y'all ready for this, family? Y'all ready for this? I'm in Detroit Friday, nigga. I challenge you to a debate in your own fucking city. I'm in Detroit Friday.
Are you sure?
Nigga. Let's debate. My lecture will be from 6 to 8, and I charge Papa fucking Smurf. I charge Minnie Mouse to a 1-hour debate on who really runs the RBG Black Consciousness Movement, nigga. Fuck a YouTube. Fuck a Facebook. You versus me in your town, nigga. That's right. You got the hometown advantage. You got home court, nigga. 3 questions. 3 questions is what we want to do. Steady, you fucking nut. 3 questions, bitch. Question number 1. What have you done for Black people in the past 15 years? Because your ass keeps screaming about what the fuck you done, but I ain't seen shit but a bunch of plagiarized ass lectures. You ain't no fucking scholar, nigga. You ain't done no scholar shit. You taking shit out of niggas' books. I'm published, nigga. Research articles and books. I'm published, nigga. You ain't wrote no books. You ain't done no articles because you's a fucking plagiarist. All your information come from other niggas' books. Talking that shit, Mighty Mouse. You think I ain't studied your little nut ass nigga? Think I ain't studied you? Every time you look in the mirror, you see a cracking nigga. Every time you look in the mirror, you see a cracking nigga. So you got to go extra hard because you're trying to prove to yourself that you're a Black man. I ain't got that problem. I'm melanated, bitch. I'm melanated, bitch. When I look in the mirror, I see a Black man. When you look in the mirror, you see a cracking nigga. You got that Napoleon thing going on. You got that Napoleon. You see that date, August 21st, bitch? That's when I was born. 821, nigga, bring it. Bring it, motherfucker. Little dirty midget. I called for an elders meeting because shit was getting out of hand. It wasn't about you. I don't go around and think about you, you broke ass nigga. Do you even?
Okay, so enough of that. I didn't know. I forgot just how crazy it was. until I started watching it again, and it's, so I let you like go laugh on your own time. So, all right. So first off, you know, with that video, you know, I think there's something going on. Somebody mentioned, they said that, you know, they think that Umar's an intelligent guy, but he might lack emotional intelligence. That's a possibility. You know, I'm not clowning him, I'm not attacking or dissing him, but I just know no matter what I say, it's going to be interpreted as a diss, right? And that's just what it is. But, you know, yeah, I saw that just kind of just as a real bad strategic move. You know, again, I don't think most people I know didn't even know who this other guy was. You know, that's what was interesting. I was like, who is he mad at? He's really mad at somebody. But then also, you know, I think you got to be concerned about anybody who starts a conversation by referring to themselves in the third person. Like if I was to say, well, you know, Dr. Boyce Watkins don't talk to nobody. Dr. Boyce Watkins will be, you know, in Philadelphia next week. Dr. Boyce Watkins is one of the greatest scholars in the world. Dr. Boyce Watkins is, you know, like it would sound weird. I would probably make fun of myself for talking that way. You know, y'all be like, you know, like, wait, you and Dr. Boyce Watkins both gonna be there? Like, you know, like, it just sounds weird, right? Like talking about yourself in the third person, I think that's just kind of, you know, I would advise against it. How about that? Then, you know, as the debate kind of went on, or as the rant kind of went on, and there's more to it. It's literally 45 minutes long, which is just wow. You know, as the rant kind of went on, you know, he's challenging Sarah Sossetti to this debate, and it's interesting because he says the debate is to determine who runs the RBG community, right? You know, who runs the RBG community, nigga. You know, and so I'm sitting there thinking, if you think about the RBG community, which is a community I respect, and I'm part of the conscious community because I don't want to be unconscious. You're conscious or you're not conscious. I'm not going to be unconscious. Right. I mean, do we really want the conscious community? First of all, do we want to run by anybody? That's the first thing. Does anybody run it? No, the people run it. We all run together. That's the first thing. Second thing is, do you want the community run by people who might say, let's figure out who runs the RBG community, nigga. Nigga. I mean, where the fuck do we learn how to talk like that? I mean, I understand profanity, and I understand the use of the N-word every now and then. I mean, I understand the nuances of it, but have we ever really challenged ourselves on how ridiculous we look saying that we are a conscious people, but we are the first ones to call ourselves niggas. White people don't even call us niggas in public anymore. They're scared to. But we call ourselves niggas first, in front of them. That's really strange to me. So I thought that was interesting. You know, I don't think that there's any sort of elected official that is in charge where it's like, you're the one that people voted for to run the RBG community. You are the person that black people voted for as the black leader. I think that's what gets us in trouble with black leadership in general is male egos. I think that, you know, as men, especially young men, I think, you know, we're trying to prove ourselves and we get into this male competition. And you get to the point where you openly show that you are not evolved enough to really be an adequate leader for anything or anyone. It goes back to psychology, the concept of what they call Maslow's hierarchy of needs, where at the top they have what they call self-actualization, where basically you realize it ain't about you, it's bigger than you, and you learn that kind of, you know, a type of confidence laced with humility. Like again, I go back to a Farrakhan as an example. He's the best example I can think of, because Sharpton and people like that, I don't think they really have it. But, you know, if you look at Mr. Farrakhan, he's very confident. He's not scared of nobody, but he's incredibly humble. He understands that his purpose and his legacy is far bigger than just one man. And not to put him on that pedestal, but you look at Dr. King. Dr. King was that way as well. And I think that what happens is that young men, when you're young, it is about ego. It is about you because you're trying to be something. You want to be a man. You want to be rich. You want to be whatever. That's why I believe that a man under the age of 35 should never, in most cases, 99% of the time, should never run a church. He should never be elected to political office because there's certain things about certain things he has not gotten out of his system. He's not gotten the chance to, maybe sleep with beautiful women, or he's never gotten a chance to have a little bit of money. And so what happens a lot of times when you have a young guy that's running a church? Well, a lot of times you find out that he's fucking half the congregation. He's taking the money, buying fancy cars and Bentleys and all that. So if you ask Robo, 9 times out of 10, the best person to run an organization is somebody who's had all that. They've had some money, so money's not a big deal for them anymore. They have, they have a great woman next to them, or they sold their oats or whatever it is that they need to do. So that's kind of out of this system a little bit, right? They've had power before, right? Maybe they've been the CEO of a corporation, so they know what it's like to have everybody kiss their ass. So it doesn't become an ego trip for them. They're not thinking, oh, this is about me being the man. It's about achieving the goal that's bigger than all of us, right? So I think that I don't think we have that in the Black community. I think that in the Black community we have a lot of egomaniacs who think this is some kind of a pissing contest to see which man gets to wear the crown, and everyone else must bow to them. And that's a flawed strategy, because as Black people, you must understand that you will never win as a community when you are leaning on charismatic leadership that comes down to one figure, where you just worship like Jesus, and we act like none of us can do anything beyond that.
Exactly.
So the days when you had the one Jesse Jackson, or the one Al Sharpton, or the one Malcolm X, or the one Martin Luther King, or the one even with Farrakhan, even the one Farrakhan, even the nation. I think the nation has had conversations about, okay, how do we make sure we remain strong, in the event that the minister does not live for another 50 years, right? So I think that as a community, we need to think in terms of institutions. Institutions involve multiple people, multiple brilliant minds coming together to shape something that can outlive a human being. That whole idea of who runs the RBG community, that's just a problematic statement to make from the beginning. Now, I know some people gonna come in here and say, oh, well, you attacking Umar, you must not like him. And again, I know that's gonna happen regardless. And that's another problem we have as a community, is that we have those of us in the community who feel that any sort of objective, honest, critical analysis is hating, is attacking. And that's no different from a kid saying my mama was hating on me because she made me do my homework. I wanted to chill out and eat donuts all day and be lazy. And my mama made me get up and do my homework. Then she had the nerve to make me exercise, right? Well, I'm sorry. I'm going to make you exercise your brain. I'm going to challenge the community with as much respect as possible to say that there are times when you need to learn how to agree to disagree. You need to stop thinking that everybody who disagrees with you is your sworn enemy. That's stupid. That's ignorant. That's going to set us backwards, right? So I don't know all of us, any of us who feel that way. I know it loses your ego when people disagree with you. I know that
you talking about somebody doesn't you talking about you was going to solve it. It couldn't have been me, Dr. Umar. It couldn't have been me. You couldn't have came to me now when I be putting my paws on you.
With what you're saying.
You got your ass beat up, bro.
So anyway, I got a message from Victory. So I'm saying I should block a certain person. I don't know. I'm not even really.
Yeah, really. What's really telling him? I'm taking a shot at you because nigga, you didn't even say that you want something.
While I do this,
and talk like that.
Let me see. Who should I block? Somebody tell me what you block. What was for?
Nigga.
Too many trolls. You don't need to take the feelings out of this.
I'm saying.
Okay. All right, so if anybody thinks I should block somebody, let me know. In fact, I like to actually see if I can make you a moderator on my Periscope like you do on YouTube, so you can block people out. Not because it bothers me. It doesn't bother me. Like, the trolls can talk all day, but because it bothers the people that are trying to have intelligent conversations. So with that said, do me a favor, by the way. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Also, if you want a free e-copy of my book, It Takes a Village to Raise the Bar, go to drboyswatkins.net. That's drboyswatkins.net. So do me a favor, guys. If I call out the trolls are not necessarily going to speak. So if you see the troll, like, just kind of try to ignore them if you can, so we can continue with a focused discussion here. Like, think about this sentence. I want you to think about this sentence very carefully. He said, you ain't no fucking scholar, nigga. Right? So, think about this. You ain't no fucking scholar, nigga. how scholarly does that sentence sound to you, right? I'm not trying to say there's anything wrong with cussing. Y'all know I cuss all the time. And I'm not trying to say that it can't be a scholarly sentence in some sort of context, but, you know, I would almost say that that sentence didn't sound scholarly because it doesn't sound like it was well thought out, right? You heard Umar talking about Sarah Susetti, and he said, you ain't no fucking scholar, nigga. I don't know if that presents evidence of your scholarly capability, right? Like, you could just say, you know, and then Umar went on to mention that he's published in journals, he's published books, you know, things like that. You know, I believe that. You know, I mean, again, he's a very smart man. But I really think you got to ask yourself, you know, was there a better way to express your disagreement with him other than making it, us feeling like as black men, we always got to make everything into a street fight? Like, why does everything have to be straight hood all the time? You know, why do we have to be 40-year-old men? I mean, it'd be different if it was two 20-year-olds, right? Two 20-year-olds beefing. I sounded stupid when I was 22, right? But if it's 40-year-old men, the young guys are looking up at us and they're like, okay, show us what manhood looks like. What's your manhood look like? And I'm like, you ain't no fucking scholar, nigga. I'll come to your territory, nigga. You ain't shit, bitch. Like, what am I really saying to the young black men? And here's the thing, you know, we have a real immaturity problem in the black male community. We have a bitch ass nigga problem in our community. That's the best way to describe it for people who don't quite follow what I'm saying here. We have a problem with a lot of our men never growing the fuck up, never growing up. You know, and it's, I mean, I'm talking about everything from the 55-year-old rappers to dudes that feel like they can't get ahead in the world unless the white man offers them a job or an opportunity. I feel sorry for them. I think that it goes back to our families. You know, we have 72% of all black children being raised in a household without a father in the home. So the daughters are getting very rigid preparation for success. They got a role model they can follow around everywhere, to the grocery store, to the laundromat, to school every morning. They can help with to watch TV shows with and have a constant conversation with their role model. The boys don't have that. The boys are being spoiled by the mother in some cases, maybe abused by the mother. And they don't have anybody to follow around. So the black might try to do it. Black men in particular tonight. You know what I'm saying? The ego. The boys wearing high heels and carrying purse, just like mama used to do. It's too much. He's not in that category, but he just doesn't know how to operate and function as a man. He doesn't know that he's a grown man. He's watching TV. Like, okay, how do I be a man? I'm gonna watch 50 Cent. Do I act like him? Is that what manhood looks like? Or Michael Jordan or LeBron James? Is that manhood? Like what is that? The future. Is that manhood? Like he's trying to find new ways to understand man. And a lot of boys are missing the mark. So you got a lot of grown ass men in the black community who act like teenagers. Like there's a point where as men we have to have some sort of discipline. Come on, bro. Necessary. Oh yeah, my man. The entire village we look at as digital I'm on the pedestal where people like me, Willie D, others. Yeah, I don't agree with that. Like you kind of like young men looking at us, learning. I ain't digging it. You know what I'm saying? Because at my lowest level, me training the child, I ain't gonna never choke the same person. Right. You know what I'm saying? You just choke the child. We have a lot of things in common. And that matters. You see what I'm saying, bro? Right. I'm talking about, man, fuck that nigga. I'm gonna fuck that nigga up. You know, like sometimes you get angry, but a lot of times we're also talking about, you know, like he's like, yeah, my son's in school in London now. He just started going to a college in London, and he's starting a business, and I told him that if he wants to get his business going, he's going to have to raise some capital. Like, you got to have conversations like that. Like, we need more black men that are doing Kwanzaa and shit. Come through. Now, thank God. We watched Dr. Boy's watch. Wearing them jerseys. The jerseys are nice if you're up to the age of 31. After that, black you know, you start wearing grown-up clothes. You wear a suit and tie every now and then. You dress for professionalism. You start doing business deals. Jay-Z is a business man. He does business with people. He's not just out here trying to hopefully make that album where he can somehow compete with people that I have at his age. You know, he just go make albums, just go make money from that. But he's doing business. When you know about him doing business, you know, you ain't got to have money to do do business. You got to understand business to do business.
Right.
If you got money and you don't understand business, then you can't really do business.
Right.
But if you have no money and you understand business, then you can eventually make money because you're doing business.
Exactly.
So we kind of need black men that are going to just kind of grow up. You know, and so I think that what really hurt my feelings about that whole video episode, I said, both of these dudes are like 40. I'm 40, not 25.
Exactly. 40. You're talking about 40.
At what point do we grow up? At what point do we say, I'm not a kid anymore? I don't know. I don't know. Like, at what point do you feel like you gotta be the most thugged out dude in the room? Like, I ain't trying to be a thug. I'm trying to be strong. You know, of course, every man should want to be strong. I'm strong to protect my family. I'm strong when it comes to my knowledge. I'm strong when it comes to building my business empire. I'm strong when I know that I feed dozens of families every single month with my company. I'm strong because I know mental toughness in terms of sticking to my goals. I'll stand up to anybody. I ain't scared of nothing. Like, that to me is what I aim for. I'm not aiming to be no gangster. I ain't trying to be, you know, I'll respect the dudes that are still, you know, in the struggle, that are doing stuff in the street. But at the same time, it's like, if that's not really where you're planning on ending your story, my question is, at what point do you evolve, black man? Like, at what point are you as a man seeking to grow and develop who you are as a human being? I don't know if black male personal development is high on the agenda list for most people. I really don't think that as a community, we value personal development of black men. We even have stupid things. Like, I remember I was a little mad when Beyonce, you know, in the Destiny Child made that song saying, I need a soldier. Like, it almost seems like, if you ain't sleep, don't be looking at me, right?
They want to
But I mean, maybe I might look at you too. Like, there's something wrong with you. I'm not stressed. I was
exactly.
So does that mean that's fair? Like, everybody else was blowing it, making it rain at the club and spending money like on the model. I was trying to make an investment to build a business. Does that make me less of a man? Is that a problem? You know, you know, at the end of the day, it's all stupid. It's all fucking this fabricated bullshit that they feed you in the media, telling you as a black man, right, you ain't nothing but a thug, you ain't nothing but a criminal, you ain't nothing but a gangster, you ain't nothing but a little rat type dude who's supposed to be up in the trap. Some of y'all get out of the trap, but stay in the trap. It's more to stay trapped than you.
To what I would
liberate you unlike anything that you got experience in your life. Some of us, not all of us, some of us choose to remain in the trap. Stop acting like the white man is asking you to stay in the trap. You're choosing to be in the trap.
go to
You can build the trap. You control the keys to that cage to the slave you have to get time, but you don't even know.
Shit.
Anyway, and of course, you know, just so you know, in case you just came in, you know, we're talking about this thing Umar Johnson put up about how he says the state is trying to take his license for various reasons. I don't know if they're going to take his license or not. I hope that they don't. I don't think he deserves that, at least based on what I know. I'd be curious to know if there was anything else to it. I think that if you read his letter, I'll put the track up on the screen so you guys can see it. It almost sounds like he's sort of saying, look at what they're doing to me, and it's y'all's fault. The Coons did it. You know, like, you know, when we raised $250,000 and said black people were trifling because they only gave them $250,000. Again, it could have probably been said a little more diplomatically. You can challenge people without necessarily just sort of dogging everybody. But then again, I can't be too critical on that because I've probably done that sometimes too. I've probably been so frustrated at times with the community that it sounds like I was bashing black people. And then I would listen to myself and I say, boys, you're bashing black people, stop doing it. So anyway, let me read more of what Umar wrote on his page here about the alleged situation, whatever it is. He says, okay, so he says, hundreds of phone calls to my degree-granting institutions harassing them about my credentials, the same questions over and over again on every radio show, countless social.
Now, I do want to go to, this is Dr. Claude Anderson.
Dr. Claude, the female?
No, this is the brother. He wrote Powernomics. So that's what we base all our economics off of. And he finna talk about why black people are going backwards. And it plays right into, you know, what's going on.
I indeed pleased to be back in Chicago with you. And I thank my good friend Dorothy for inviting me back. Yeah, he's a pretty pretty tight agenda in and out of the country trying to fight for black folk. And sometimes my friends tell me, Dr. as we told you years ago, don't waste your time fighting for black folk. That's a waste of time. Nobody cares about black issues. But I found out that even like they make me feel low. When I come into a situation like this, I see all these beautiful black people sitting in front of me. You lift my spirit to make me feel proud. And I thoroughly enjoyed fighting for you all night. And I love to be able to tell you, which I'm going to tell you, is that I think we got one of the biggest movements in the country right now.
Today is Kwanzaa.
That all of a sudden, a lot of black folks saying, Dr. Anderson, I don't mind being black. You know, once you get used to the pain, it ain't that bad. And so I'm back in Chicago, and I'd like to thank my good friend Dorothy, as I said a few minutes ago, and I called her the Belle of Blues Town. Okay? And why did I call her that? Because you see, she's one of the few women in this country, and I got about 4 or 5 of them in different cities that have been trying to build black business communities. Dorothy is one of them. I got some people in Alabama and California, with Rosie Milligan in New York and Detroit, with Joanne Watson. So a lot of black women are trying to do it, but they don't have full support. A lot of black men, so it's been very slow. But in this city, Dorothy has done a magnificent job, okay? I told her, I said, build a black business district for me. And made it. And she named it Black Blues Town, I think on 47th and Martin Luther King Boulevard. And I said, once you build a black business community, market and close it. And what she did, she put up these silhouettes of black musicians all up and down on the poles, all down. That is outstanding and a historical event in itself. And this is a memorial to her efforts. This facility right here. I'm proud of it. It's a magnificent facility. You all should rally around this place. It's the only place in the country you can do this. And tell in and all your friends that anybody coming to Chicago and have any kind of event, or any of the local people have an event, you should be using this facility and help support that. She should be going around right now fighting and struggling, trying to pay the damn heating bill on the place, but she doesn't have enough money to pay it. Right. You all should be making sure this place stays warm in the winter and cool in the summer. Don't let leave that whole burden on her. This is the only facility in the entire United States that is very decent, that's built by black folk for black folk in a black business district. And yet she's struggling. She needs your help. Now, she asked me when I came, she said, Dr. Brown, what you do is talk about 2 things. First of all, give us a status report on black people in America and in the world. And secondly, give us some feedback on what you think power numbers should be about for them. And I'm going to try to do that for you today. Now, I wrote down I got about 4 pages of notes here, which means I'm never going to get through all of them. And I got a few PowerPoint presentations to make to you. So you all have to bear with me. And I want you to, when your posteriors get too tired, start raising your hand and I'll let you go. Because right now, I got a lot of things to say to you. And you all are pivotal right now in this situation. Now, and I'm sorry to hear that she got pushed out of public office. She got pushed out of public office. You know why in this city? And this has nothing to do with my presentation yet. I'm just feed this. She got pushed out because she was too black. Now, that just blows my cotton picking mind. How can a person be too black? See, only in the black race does the word T-O-O mean something that's negative. Right. See, I never heard about it being too Jewish, too white, too Indian, too Asian, too Arab, too Hispanic. But all of a sudden, that word too in front of black folk, it becomes a negative. And so she got run out of office, pushed out of office, because she was too black, which means she's looking out for you all. That just blows my mind. Mm-hmm. And now she's got to struggle and try to do the same thing she was trying to do in public office. When she called me to help find information on the reparations, to find all those white companies that profited from slavery. And she got a couple of enactments through the council here for reparations for black folk, holding the banks and all these institutions accountable. And then she gets pushed out of office because she's too black. Blows my mind. But I'm gonna get into my talk now, and I must start off with something like a question that was raised quite frequently by Jones Rivers. Said, can we talk today, people? Then I'm gonna take off my coat if y'all don't mind. Let's talk, okay? And now let's start with what we're going to talk about today in terms of black status in this country. Let me tell you this. You have not progressed one iota. I don't care whether it comes out of a black mouth or a white mouth, a yellow mouth, orange mouth, pink mouth, any kind of mouth. Anybody tells you that black folk are progress in America is lying to you. In proportional comparative terms, you're going backwards. You're exactly where you were in 1860 on the eve of the Civil War. You are suffering 6 to 8 times your fair share of everything that's bad. And you can't find one thing positive you can do that's being a credit to the race. If you're looking at it in its very specific terms, right now you're bearing, it does say poverty. The poverty rate in America for black folk is 38% for black adults. And if black adults were to lose a little bit of money having their house or cars or furniture, it would jump to 67%. Would go beneath the poverty line. Black children are something like 35% beneath the poverty line. On unemployment, you hear about bragging about how the unemployment rate is coming down. That's a lie. It's not coming down for black folk. 6 years ago, when Obama went into office, at that particular time, the national unemployment rate for black folk was not what they were saying for whites. They talk about what a white unemployment rate is up to 7 8%. The unemployment rate for black folk was 35% nationally. And in Chicago, in Baltimore was 48%. Detroit was 48%. Pittsburgh 49%. And in New York 52% for adult men, black men, and for youth 87%. But nobody cares. Nobody's making an issue out of it. But when the unemployment rate in this country for whites back in the 1920s in the Great Depression hit 25%, they mobilized the entire country. Everything was mobilized to try to bring the unemployment rate for whites down from 25%. If you're black folk, the unemployment rate somewhere around getting close to 50%, and nobody cares.
Oh, I thought you said you talked to Kate.
Nobody cares. Now, what's the impact of that? A politician and a civil rights organization out there, what we're going to do is that we're going to try to find some social programs to find jobs for black folks. It won't cut it. There's only 3 things that any individual can do to earn a living in our society and be able to provide for his family and himself. It's been a combination of 3 things going straight up and down vertical. At the top level, what you want is a black person, first of all, to have a business. You can't have a business to employ himself and be self-employed. You want him to be able to have a job at the first level. And if you can't get that, if blacks have no businesses and no jobs, you must go down to the second level. The second level is what we call social services, food stamps, welfare, all kind of assistance, public assistance. That's the second level. And if conservatives come along like they normally do and eradicate that, saying those are handouts for black folks, then you got kicked out of the second level, you go down to the third level. Crime. The third level is crime. Now they talk about crime in Chicago, Washington, D.C., and around the country. The reason your crime rate is high because what? You're not at the top level in the business ownership and employment. You go down to the second level, they cut out all the social programs, the public assistance program. You go down to the bottom level of crime. Every black person must do a combination, sophistication, or elaboration of 3 things. Either work or welfare you steal. You got the high crime in the city. It's going to stay high. It's going to stay high until somebody wakes up and smells the carpet and gets some damn cyst in their head. Always want to come up with some social program that, well, at best we can move it back up to level 2, Dr. Anson, but we're never going to move up to level 1 again because they have their own employment and have a business. All these other groups coming in the country, and we don't want that. Why? Why don't you want it?
See,
you see, we want money, power, Dr. Anson talks about you must have.
Like we talked about, what can you do with your hands to make $15 an hour? You should be able to not even worry about no job. Because every hour I know how to get out here and make $15. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to spend 8 hours a day, or I might spend 10 hours a day, I spend 12 hours a day. I'm going to be able to survive.
I work a damn job. The only way you can enrich yourself working a job is if you're good at stealing.
Yeah, they ain't capture that.
And here we are, and we buy the garbage every time because we don't understand the issues. Now, so for us, unemployment is the same as it was back during slavery. Why? I looked at the records. I found out back in those days that in major cities like Washington, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, New York, and Atlanta, Georgia, Savannah, that even though you only had 200-some-thousand black folks that were free, all the other almost 6 million were enslaved. But yeah, what was the unemployment rate? They had full employment as slaves. But out of the 200,000 that were free, guess what? The employment rate for them was still what it is now, almost 35 to 40%. They're sleeping in alleys, sleeping in attics, sleeping on the corners, begging for food, walking, trying to do handyman jobs. The same thing with imprisonment at that time. That even though you only had 200-some-thousand black folks free out across the country, I looked at the incarceration rate, imprisonment rate. But out of 200-some-thousand black folk make up over 51% of all the prisoners.
Shit.
And here you are 150 years later, guess what? You still make up over 51% of all the prisoners.
Here.
Nothing has changed. And so you haven't changed your unemployment. We haven't changed the poverty rate. In terms of businesses, then we still less.
We got less.
And now the businesses that any group in the country. They're in this country right now. Black folk do not own and control anything in a greater access and value to 1/2 of 1%.
Exactly. That's what we were talking about.
Now, anybody who understands you're going to be economically competitive in the society, you must minimally have your share of proportionally to your population percentage.
Exactly.
We make up 12.5% of all the population in America. That means we should be owning about 12.5% of the businesses. But we don't even have 1/2 of 1% of the businesses. How can you struggle in Chicago and be sufficient and competitive if you don't own and control anything of value? You don't own and control anything of value.
How?
And so what I'm saying is we're not progressing in America. We got to start learning how to play this game and play it to win. We got to cut these poverty rates down. So what I'm going to be talking about with you this morning is how do we do it? How do we do it, especially in view of the fact that now we are a permanent underclass in the society. Going back to 1970, I left President Carter's administration when I was Assistant Secretary in Commerce with Link, and I was also the only black in the history of this country that was the chairman of economic development for governors. And all of a sudden it came in, and Nixon came in 1970. He got elected and said, what we're going to do is shut down
every day
the black civil rights movement in this country. We're going to shut down the black power movement in this country. Through a public policy called benign neglect. Which means you take the focus off of black folk and put it on minority women, children, and immigrants. And now they include the gays in it. And that would shut them down. They put that policy in effect in 1970. And then guess what? Our leadership didn't raise any cane about it. They went along with it. They also turned around there and said, well, they're going to do it for them, throw in women under Title IX. So now it includes everybody but black folk.
Right.
And it's morphed over the last 50 years. So now the benign neglect policy now is called political correctness. Political correctness that you hear about every day on the TV means make black folk invisible, make everything black disappear.
Sure.
So nobody in America is going to address any issues pertaining to black folk. Nobody's going to mention the word black, not even by accident. They're falling off the top of a building, they save their lives and say black, they're going to do it.
Anything but.
Nobody's going to mention you. You have no substantive leadership. The leadership you got right now is totally committed to what they set up under the benign neglect policy, which means let's fabricate all these other groups that take away the benefits that black folks should be getting. Let's give it to them. Exactly. We'll fabricate new groups and call them fabricated classes. We'll now come up with things called minorities, poor folks, people of color, diversity, multicultural, and gays. Those are fabricated classes. Now, I wrote the first affirmative action plan in 1970 for the state of Florida. When I was over education for the state, I did not write it for minorities. I didn't write it for gays and humpbacks and lesbians and midgets. I wrote it for black folk. Affirmative actions only mean corrective actions, correcting something that the government has done, not what your neighbor did or what a corporate or business did, but what the government did systematically, historically, conscientiously, and committedly, and against a very specific group of people. Now, how did all these other groups get involved in? The government hadn't shut them out of anything, they excluded, they exploited, subordinated them. They only did that to black folk. But they set up all these fabricated groups. I don't hear any outcries from black folk in America, not from your leadership saying, hold it a second. all of a sudden can you set up all these programs and call them minorities? What in the world is a minority? Is that a one-legged piano player? What's a minority?
Right. Just say it with anybody. You know what I'm saying?
They don't know what the hell a minority is. Oh, I'm a minority. I'm a minority. What are you gonna do for minorities? I don't know. I ain't gonna do a damn thing for minorities. I don't even know what a minority is. And you don't know what a minority is. Please, we're not there. We won't call it a minority. Let's call it people of color. What the hell is a people of color? What is a people? Everybody got color. And everybody in every group is a minority. And then, and to make it worse, they went through in women. Now you put women into a minority category, when women are a majority. See, white women went into there. That's why right now in the affirmative action program, the white women take all the resources out of it, suck it out like a vacuum cleaner. Don't you see, the white man was pretty smart. He outsmarted our people.
Right.
He said, well, if I throw white women in there, and even though she slept in the same bed and he raised my kids doing slavery, and co-owned, co-controlled, co-influenced, and inherited 100% of everything I got from slavery, and she's got it. But I'll pretend that she hadn't got anything. She's been abused, misused, excluded.
Right.
So I go down to Texas and look at the affirmative action program down there. Guess what? In 1 year alone, the white women got 78% of all the resources coming in contracts for services and goods.
Right, that's their husband business.
Hispanics got 21%, blacks got 0.9%.
Dang.
Because you got no leadership. The leadership is stuck in minorities and poor folks, people of color, and gays. And I tell myself, hold a second. All those classes that you're talking about, those fabricated classes of Hispanics, Arabs, Asians, American Indians, and gays, those were previous slaveholders.
Exactly.
Why are you giving special attention to the descendants of the slaveholders and giving no attention to the descendants of the slaves? That doesn't make any sense. I say, hell, I go right now down to New Orleans.
Right now, that's why we divide.
That's why we don't even identify the same. Exactly. And you got the president now wants to put transsexual and gays into a protected class, put black folk into a protected class.
Politics.
I go down to New Orleans and one of the oldest, most popular restaurants in New Orleans is called the Two Sisters Restaurant. The Two Sisters Restaurant was two white women, two gay white women that during slavery was the biggest slave owners in New Orleans. The restaurant is still there. Somebody's elevator's not going to the second floor. Everybody's doing that thing upside down and backwards instead of facing the realities of what black folks should be entitled to. And that's part of our problem, saying, now, hold a second, we got to change all these things. And one of the first things I'm going to tell you about is what we have to do is start talking about powernomics. How can powernomics help us? And that's what I'm going to talk about. Powernomics goes through history and tries to analyze critically for black folk and say, what devices did they use to put us into this bottom barrel, put us at the bottom of the well? What did they do? And what I did, I put out three sets of books to give you an answer. The first one's called Black Labor, White Wealth. I went through and Ebony and Jim called the second Bible for black folk around the world. I critically analyzed all the schemes, techniques, trips, laws, public edicts, everything that the dominant white society did to socially engineer you into the lowest level of a real life monopoly game. You've been sold into it.
Right.
And I said to myself, now hold a second. The only way black folk could be in their dilemma for 500 years in this country, there's only three ways they could have gotten in this position. Either it's because by providence and God declared that black folk would be in the bottom of the barrel for 500 years. And I said, I don't think God would be that mean just to black folk. So that wouldn't make any sense. I said, well, then the other thing is that it's because black folk are just DNA-wise stuck totally on stupid with gorilla glue. And I said, no, I don't think my people are that damn stupid. To volunteer to be slaves and be Jim Crow segregated and benign neglected for 500 years. I said, what would be the third reason? That's the third reason was social engineering.
Right.
You've been socially engineered into the lowest level of a real life monopoly.
Right.
And what allowed everybody else to profit off of you. And so I said, now what I'm gonna do is put out books like Black Labor, White Wealth. It shows you, it takes you from all the way through history with the timeline to show you every trick, every technique, how they maldistribute almost 100% of all this nation's wealth, power, resource, privileges, and controls of all levels of government into the hands of the government by society. That's why you're not winning. You don't own and control a damn thing.
Right.
So if you came out of slavery, whites own 99.5% of everything of value. And the worst part about it is that nowadays, 87% of the 99.5% is frozen. It's locked into the government white society. You can't get it. It's locked into stocks, bonds, real estate, businesses, trust accounts, endowments. You can't get it. 87% is frozen. You can only compete for 13%. Only 13% of what you need is up for grabs. You got to compete against all these people coming into the country to get that. That's a tough uphill fight. And that's why Black Labor, White Wealth says, if my people have a halfway chance of fighting, how are they going to do it? Right. The white folks say, well, the reason they're on the bottom is because they never took advantage of the opportunities. I said, what opportunities? Well, when we free, we set them free. Yeah, you set them free. Poor, penniless, no home, no clothes, no shoes, no wood, no animals, no farm, no land, no tools, no weapons, no religion, no education, nothing. Then told them to go out there, well, you black folk got to learn how to either root or die. What? That's the term. Go out, that's what they said in history. You go out there and root or die. You got to make it with nothing. And yet, and throughout the emancipation years, even through the civil rights movement years, nobody went back and addressed that issue. Nobody went back and said, hey, we came out of slavery, forget social integration, forget desegregation.
Right. Yes, I have money. Yes, what you owe.
Forget civil rights. Go back and correct the conditions that you impose on black folk. Yeah. You cannot deprive a group of people for 500 years of the fruits of their labor with no money, no value, no land, no history, nothing. And they say, go out and compete. Compete with what? Right. And so I tell all my civil rights leaders, you are foolish for the things you keep pushing. Why do you keep telling black folks go out and fight for equality, equal opportunity? I don't give a damn about no equality, equal opportunity. What in the world am I doing with equal opportunity? And I haven't got a pot to win to throw it out of them.
Right.
Right. I'm saying, bitch, I'm gonna get look. See, yeah, had me on that radical type.
They got equality.
Yeah.
People, listen to me. Y'all listen, okay? We're talking today now. Okay?
All right, we're talking.
I want your full attention. Now, follow me along. Y'all are black people. Follow me. if I got $5 in my hands as a black person, as a result of slavery and Jim Crow segregation, and the white person got $1,000 in his hand, you come along and say, I tell you what, I'm gonna treat you all equal. I'm gonna give all one to eat, and what I do to one, I'm gonna do to the other. Make sure everybody be equal. And I'm gonna give everybody now $1,000. Now he gives me as a black person $1,000. I now got $1,000 and a $5 bill. He gives the white person $1,000. Now he's got $2,000. I said, no. Please, I don't need no equality and equal opportunity. Now that you're going to distribute some resources. So as I get into some stuff, and I'm going to track it. So I want some reverse engineering. And power numbers is reverse engineering of what happened in Black Labor, White Wealth. Now I wrote power numbers to say, now, we can beat the system if we really try hard. They said, how are you going to do it? I said, because white racism is not perfect. They're good at it, but they're not perfect. We can beat it if we learn how to do something the same thing they did, but we do it in reverse.
Right.
We do reverse, and that's what the National Plan and Power Black men about. Is to take you all through history, and everything they went bit, we gonna go bam, taking it back, where it's to our advantage. By giving my people some self-interest, some self-realization, some commitments to play as a team. Mm-hmm. Now, why do I say as a team? Because you understand that racism is a team sport.
Right, exactly. We all got to think like this. We all got to be superior. We all got to.
You either play as a team or you lose by default. My people are the only people that don't want to play as a team. And see, God sent and nature sent everybody and everything to the earth as a team. The birds play as a team, animals play as a team, every group plays as a team. My people don't want to play as a team.
We don't want unity.
Just like football and baseball.
But it's so
you go out to the team and they say to me, say, God will say to Claude Anderson, God, I'm God. I want you to go out and be a coach and a manager for black folk. I want you to coach them on how to survive and compete. And the team he gave me, I know that team. And I got the black team. And I go out in the field, play on the team like a football game. And I said, you go out and catch the ball.
Watch this, man.
When you go out and catch the ball,
I ain't never, I'm going to listen to him in my head.
And this one over here, he won't even throw it to him.
Yeah, right.
First day of Kwanzaa, unity, Real Fathers Association. We logging off. Coach Perry won.